school football on 2000 is here, Beaver County Radio. Coverage of high school football is being brought to you by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, A.K. Nahas Furniture Gallery, Tri-County McDonald's, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Now let's head to the A.K. Nahas Furniture Gallery broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
Also lose their defensive coordinator as well. So Pat Feely, longtime assistant at Blackhawk, ends up taking over and coaching a team that is looking for its way. They've also been dealing with a number of injuries that they've suffered on the season as well. A number of starters out for the whole year, like Tyler Heckathorn at tight end, defensive end, E.J. Barron, offensive tackle, defensive tackle, Tristan Brunson, offensive tackle, defensive end, and Brock Marsh at nose guard. So oftentimes in high school football, it's about what happens at the trenches that really determines outcomes of games, and it gives those skill players the ability to be able to really perform. But when you lose so many players, it can be difficult. Bruce Fry with us. Bruce, when you look at Blackhawk at this point and what they've been struggling with this year, in some ways, not much of a surprise that they're really struggling at this point.
Well, we'll take a look. But, yeah, some of the young men you mentioned, I mean, all I can do is look out and see these jersey numbers. But, yeah, it looks like Brunson is out. He was on crutches. It looks like Tyler Manderson is out also. He's out there with his game jersey and shorts on. But you're saying Heckathorn is out also.
Yes, he is out. In fact, according to the coach, he is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Blackhawk. But we'll get his brother tomorrow, Ryan, a fine wide receiver for the Grove City Wolverines. But it's tough to not get Tyler tonight because he is certainly a very legitimate target for the Blackhawk Cougars.
And looking at the Quips tonight, the Aliquippa Quips led by their standout quarterback Quentin Good, who was the CCBC player of the game last week.
Yeah, no, that's a very good selection. We talked about distributing the football, and what it wind up, 7 different young men for Aliquippa scored touchdowns.
Yes.
And Cheese is the man who facilitates it and distributes it.
He did a great job last week, 10 of 19, 2 touchdowns. On the season, he is 34 for 64, completing about 53% of his passes, even throwing a couple completions for 2-point attempts. Key wide receivers for him, Brandon Banks and Harrison Walker.
Oh, no doubt about it. And these guys have proven their mettle over the years, and you can never discount the fact that their backs can take swing passes out of the backfield as well.
Tyquay Hayes, he is headed off to Penn State, committed about almost 2 weeks ago, a week ago Sunday. 103 attempts, 740 yards on the season, 7.2 yards a carry. And for the first time in a very long time, John Tracy is going to be in the backfield with him. And according to conversations with Coach Warfield, he likes the idea, and the two of them really fond of each other too.
No question. And looking back, I was watching some video the other day of Aliquippa, the tough loss that they suffered to Bishop McDevitt at Cumberland Valley last year in the state football final. Tracy certainly had an awful lot of carries and was a big contributor for Aliquippa's offense.
You're listening to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center pregame show on Beaver County Radio. A couple of interviews coming up in just a few minutes. We'll talk to Coach Pat Feely, the head coach of the Blackhawk Cougars. Also, Mike Warfield, the head coach of the Aliquippa Quips, what they looked at from last week's game in preparation for this week and what they're looking at for tonight. Those interviews coming up next from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. Bruce Fry, I'm Robert Mangino. More coming up in a moment.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Hiladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden or Aliquippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Are you a believer?
I am absolutely a believer.
And I'm a Baba Beaver believer.
But I'm the biggest Baba Beaver believer.
All right, man, you got me.
Be a Beaver believer in a new Nissan. Get a new Rogue S for just $344 a month, or a new Ultima Premium package for only $386 a month. Plus guaranteed credit approval and the best certified.
Stop in and become a Baba Beaver believer like
at Beaver County Auto.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
It's time to kick off the Flex Steel Fall Gallery Sale at AK Nahas. Get the comfort, quality, and style you want and save up to 20% off all Flex Steel furniture. Handcrafted for long-lasting beauty and comfort, choose from over 60 Flex Steel styles, the largest selection in Western Pennsylvania. Save up to 20% off Flex Steel, get 12-month special financing, and free local delivery. The Fall Gallery Sale only at AK Nahas, appliance, furniture, mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK.
The local McDonald's restaurants are proud to be partners with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring Beaver County high school football games all season long. Stop into any of the local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burritos, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Text McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
Copico's Pizza on the corner of 3rd and 8th Street in New Brighton uses the best ingredients in Beaver County. That's Kopickos. Copico's, where you can dine in, take out, or order online. Copico's has great lunch specials on junior pizzas, burgers and fries, Italian hoagies, and fish and chicken sandwiches. Copico's makes their own dough and unique sauce from scratch daily. Get 25% off wings with any pizza order at Copicos.com. That's Copico's Pizza in New Brighton, a taste above the rest.
Coach Feely, at the beginning of the season, the Cougars were working off of 2 back-to-back years, combining a total of 4 wins. Last year, you got 4 wins, and it seemed as though there was a positive direction the team and the program was going in. And then right before the season starts, you lose the head coach, and then you have to step in. And it's been a very difficult road so far, winless at this point this season. Explain to me the way you see how things have progressed for you and your team to this point.
First off, I want to give a lot of credit to the kids. They've been really resilient. They've not demonstrated any level of giving up at all. I give them a lot of credit. I mean, that's the reason why we're still pushing. We're still working hard, because these kids are still pushing hard. They know the record. They're not happy with it, but they're still going to keep chopping away. But, I had a lot of setbacks. We had our defensive coordinator leave the same day, too, as well. So we basically had to put in a new defense. We had to put in a new style of offense for that. And one of the other things, too, we haven't really had a weight room since June. And so you can see us being worn down in the second half by the lack of a weight room because there was water damage in last year. So all in all, so I'm not trying to make excuses, but these are factors I think are playing a part in the current record.
There's a tremendous testimony to you and the coaching staff that you still have to continue to help inspire and motivate these kids to come out and give their all, not only on Fridays, but every day through practice.
Right, and that's the message we got to keep. We can't give up. And I tell them after every game, I said, when we play and when our chance to win, we have that chance. All right, but we can't have you guys backing out or shutting down or just not feeling you want to give your best. Because if you take away your best attitude, best effort, you remove any chance of us winning.
Let's talk about some of the key players that you have on this team. Maurice Watson-Trent at running back, averaging 6.5 yards a carry. Considering where the program is and the struggles that you had, he's clearly a bright spot in this program, isn't he?
Right. I mean, he's had a few games over 100 yards, and he's that consistent run hard. You don't know, you might have a play that's not blocked well, but he's going to be the equalizer in that play, and he's going to, maybe bust it for 15, 20, 25 yards. So he's been definitely a bright spot. He's been a great leader on the team too as well.
You've also had some balance at quarterback. I noticed in looking at some of the statistics, Canale and Pritchard both play. They both have a very comparable number of attempts and yards. What's the thinking here behind this 2-quarterback approach to your offense?
They're both great kids. Canale has been his game's improved on the defensive side. He's turned into the quarterback of the defense, and so we're playing him more there. And Pritchard he's improved his game at quarterback, so we're trying to get the best out of everyone. Mm-hmm. So like I said, there's packages for Pritchard, there's packages for Canale, but so like I said, I can't say enough things about Canale playing defense. His defensive game has been great, which is inside linebacker, which is hard to do when you're a quarterback because you got to worry about injuries. But he's been one of our toughest players on defense in the last few weeks.
Dante Campagna is another one that is important for your team to work to make sure he gets his touches. How do you do that?
Our offensive coordinator, Chandler Kincaid, tries to devise systems to get him the ball, whether it's a jet sweep or a wildcat or some type of play action. Dante's always at the top of how do we get Dante the ball? How do we get him the ball? Because he's the one that can make things happen with his athleticism.
All right, let's talk about that defense that you were saying that Canale is really the quarterback of. What are you seeing that you are liking as the season progresses?
I like Canale's aggressiveness. We have a good linebacking core between Cody Woodward and Brendan Rodriguez and Connor McGraw. They have been really stepping up their game. We just need to get a little bit more improvement for our defensive line, our interior. We need to be more physical up front. Our end, Thomas Price, he's been really stepping up, and he's been a dominant at his side of the ball.
When it comes to the front, you have a little bit of a question mark there on the defensive side. Does that translate to the offensive side of the ball too?
Our offensive line, at one point we had to start 3 sophomores. We've had some injuries. There's a possibility we might be starting a backup fullback at guard this week, and who's a sophomore too as well. So we have a very young line. One bright spot has been Callan Woodward. He had knee surgery. He thought he wouldn't be back till 2024, and he's been back. He got back a couple weeks ago. So from a reconstruction surgery, which I thought was unheard of. So he's been a bright spot on the offensive line.
Let's talk about preparations for the game against Aliquippa. What do you see as you're watching game film?
Aliquippa is just fundamentally sound. They're athletic, they're fast, and they just do everything right. And so, I'm not taking anything away from Aliquippa, but you also see how the opponents play. Aliquippa is a great program, great history, and like I said, everything they do is just great. But I see a lot of programs, they get scared. A lot of kids, they just almost like they're very tentative. And so that's one thing that I've been trying to point out this week is that we can't be tentative. We can't be scared. We gotta go in, and play best of our ability.
What are the keys for you to be able to come up with the upset tonight?
Basically, the turnover. We got to win the turnover battle. Like last week was the first time this year we won the turnover battle. So we got to make sure we win the turnover battle, and we just got to keep making sure our technique is great and our blocking, and then we got to basically execute. Our effort's been there all year. The kids, that's one of the great things about these kids. Their effort's been there. It's just the execution hasn't been there. So if this is the week that we finally decide to execute, I'll pick this week to execute.
Coach Feely, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck to you this evening.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Coach Feely there. Bruce, when you look at last week's Blackhawk game, they were able to keep it close going into the early part of the third quarter, and two of the big reasons were 2 key turnovers as Central Valley was inside the 10, almost going into the end zone. They were able to get strip sacks and from their key defensive lineman, Thomas Price, that he's the leading tackler for losses on the team, and 2 big strips. Fumbles.
As we all know, turnovers are the great equalizer in football. That can make teams with the so-called have-nots get even with the haves. But the question is, what can Blackhawk do to force turnovers against the mighty Quip offense? That's what we'll find out soon.
And also when it comes to Aliquippa, their own issues when it comes to penalties. Some of them they were complaining about from last week that they weren't happy with the officiating. The others, though, a lot of unforced pre-snap penalties as well. We will hear from Coach Warfield coming up in a moment. We're live from Heinz Field in Aliquippa as the Quips get ready to take on the Cougars on Beaver County Radio.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook. Spotlight your future this fall at Community College of Beaver County. By attending our admissions showcases, you'll explore campus, talk one-on-one with professors, discover career and transfer-ready programs, and even enroll on the spot. Join us October 7th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Aviation Sciences Center in Chippewa to learn more about piloting, air traffic control, aerospace management, and the Aviation High School Academy. RSVP now at ccbc.edu/showcases.
Hey, Beaver County High School football season is here. Players protect that beautiful smile with a visit to your hometown dentist, Dr. Peter Montini and his team at St. Barnabas Dental. While tackling tooth decay is number one in the game plan, Dr. Montini offers a wide array of services, including custom-fitted athletic mouthguards, clear aligner orthodontics, virtually painless injections, and same-day crowns. Call or text 724-495-3350 to schedule your appointment today. St. Barnabas Dental in Beaver, creating beautiful smiles for life.
Do you know a child who struggles to read? If so, the tuition-free brick-and-mortar Provident Charter School West is here to help. The Provident Charter School West in Baden is helping children from 1st grade through 4th learn to overcome dyslexia so they can return to their hometown schools and graduate with their friends. Provident Charter School West meets the needs of children with dyslexia so they can become the inventors and educators of tomorrow. For more information, visit providentcharterschool.org.
At Pittsburgh Bay's Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com.
Coach Warfield, looking at the game from last week against Ambridge, pretty imposing defense those first two drives, and then afterwards, Ambridge made a game out of it, getting it to 14-13, and then you were able to really run away from them from that point forward. What's your assessment of your team's performance against Ambridge last week?
I thought the kids played well. I mean, if you go back and look at the tape and really, analyze it, I thought, penalties hurt us. Initially, as far as letting them maintain their drives. I think without the penalties, they don't have any type of drives. So those are things we can control and can't control. Just self-inflicted penalties such as offsides, we can control that. But a lot of them calls were like judgment calls, which that's out of our control. And just play, each play and work to get better.
When it comes to the penalties, I'm sure even though you're taking this one game at a time, looking forward down into the playoffs through the WPIAL and into the state playoffs, penalties can be real difference makers between winning a championship and coming up as runner-up.
Absolutely. I mean, we always start off each year. I think as we go further into the playoffs, I think the officiating gets better. So that's not really a concern of mine because, like I said, a lot of those are judgment calls, and they were average at best, in my opinion. But, we can't control that. We just got to play, each down and, don't worry about the rest doing what they're doing, good or bad, and just continuously, play.
Looking at your team, where do you see the most need for improvement besides the issue of penalties that they can control? Where would you like to see this team improve week to week moving forward, and especially as you're getting ready for Blackhawk coming up later?
Playing 4 quarters. We've been practicing very well. Our preparation has been great. Like I said, the past 2 games, it's just been those judgment calls that are hurting us defensively relative to allowing the other team just to sustain drives and keep their drives going. So overall, I'm pleased. Of course, we always want to get better in certain instances relative to tackling, alignment on defense, being on the same page on offense. But overall, the kids are working hard, not just on the field, in the classroom as well. So I'm pleased, but, there's always room for improvement. So me and my coaching staff is always just reassessing and reflecting back on how can we make these kids better.
John Tracy is coming back in the lineup. What does he mean to this team and to you as a head coach?
John, and we call him JT, is dynamic. I mean, he's probably one of the best athletes on the team relative to speed. And, he's small in stature, but he's very powerful. He has a great football mind. His football awareness, his football IQ is second to none. So I'm excited for him. This is a senior year. He's coming back on defense. I think another important thing is he allows Tyquay to stay fresh. I mean, they split reps, support each other 100%. They both care about each other. So I'm excited for both of them. To have JT back is definitely going to not just help JT, but also help Tyquay. They complement each other very well.
keys to victory for tonight's game?
Play every down. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the down and distance. Just play every down as if it's 4th and 1. And that's what I want to see, is that we treat every down as if it's 4th and 1 and give maximum effort, and we go from there.
Coach Warfield, thank you very much for your time. Do appreciate it. Best of luck this evening.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Blackhawk in the defense. Last week they gave up over 500 yards on the ground. Quarterback Steve Rutherford, JT Work, and Jance Henry, the freshman over at Central, rushed for 234. I'm thinking you throw in Tyquee Hayes, Cameron Lindsay, and John Tracy. There's the potential here for another 500-yard night.
Well, yeah, one of the oldest sayings out there is they're going to continue to run the football until you stop it. So we have to see if Blackhawk is able to stop Aliquippa's rush. But I would certainly expect the Quips to rush, although they do like working on their passing game as well. It's a two-headed monster on Aliquippa's offense. They can do both well.
It seems as though at this point, the way they play offense and defense, their greatest enemy may be themselves when it comes to the penalties that they can control.
Well, that's we'll find out how it goes. But yeah, the pre-snap fouls you want to worry, you've got to be concerned about. But the other things like the holds, the clips, that just has to come with discipline and practice. And hopefully things will work out in that sense for Aliquippa as the season evolves.
When you look at Aliquippa, they have been to the WPIAL championship game 15 years in a row. They are looking to make it 16. The Blackhawk Cougars, they last won a playoff game back in 2019. We'll come back with the opening kickoff coming up in a moment. We're at Heinz Field in Aliquippa. Blackhawk, Aliquippa, next on Beaver County.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are fading in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads this fall. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call Ganew's Body Works in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to full custom color paint, Ganew's also handles collision and general repairs. Say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call Ganew's Body Works, 408th Street in Freedom.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George. Since 1934, they've been committed to the physical and financial recovery of personal injury victims. Why choose the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George? Attorney Larry Kelly explains.
First of all, we've been AV rated by Martindale Hubbell. It's the highest rating you can get for legal ability and ethics, and that comes from our peers. We have board-certified civil trial specialist, which is like another bar exam. Would you go to a doctor who is not board-certified? Probably not. I've always said, and I tell my daughters, I have 3 daughters who are attorneys. Those in the profession know. The lawyers of LGKG have the respect of our peers, and that's all I ever cared about.
For your free initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly & George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We are back at Heinz Field, and somebody who's used to being at Heinz Field, it looks as though, and we'll check in here with Bruce in a moment. Bruce, it looks as though somebody who's very familiar with Heinz Field is here tonight, and the head coach of the Pitt Panthers.
Yeah, Pat Narduzzi here to check things out, and that's because, in part because obviously Cameron Lindsay has signed with Pitt. So you could say that Cam Lindsey is basically, he's going from the Pitt to Pitt.
Exactly. And I'm sure that there are a lot of other kids, both on Aliquippa's side and on Blackhawk's side, that are excited about the idea the head coach for Pitt's here, and they're going to want to show out tonight, too.
Well, yeah, the Panthers have a bye week. They got a lot to take care of. They've apparently decided to retire Phil Jerkovic as starting quarterback, so they have until next week when Louisville visits for a 6:30 game to get the Penn State transfer, Villieu, I believe you say it, Christian, into the lineup. It can't be a tough situation, but that's where the Panthers stand right now.
Well, maybe Cheese is here to impress tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cheese can certainly throw the ball. He aired it out at Acrisure Stadium in that game versus Bell Vernon in 2021, no question. But the reality of it is that Pittsburgh is just in a tough situation. Nobody thought they would be 1-4. That's where they stand with this bye week. So Coach Narduzzi, who, again, is down there on the sideline, I saw him when he came in, he's got a lot of questions to answer.
And we are just seconds away from a kickoff, and the kickoff will be held by Malachi Shagog. 33 kickoffs so far this year. He's averaging about 37 yards per kickoff. And then on the return, we have
I would
looks like Maurice Watson Trent
too.
Yes,
I would look for Campagna.
And
back
Campagna's back there as well. However, it's not getting back to them. The ball instead going out of bounds, and they are going to get much better yardage to start things off than they otherwise would hope with a touchback or anything else. We're looking at 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for Blackhawk.
Yes, and they never did. And we should also note, you talked about the 6+ yards carries. The average for Watson Trent, it also should be pointed out, and I don't want to jinx him, but he does have 0 fumbles on the year on 85 carries.
Why did you even say something like that?
Because I'm trying to enlighten our listeners. So that's the situation where it stands. We'll see how it plays out.
All right, Alex Pritchard is the one who's starting tonight. A lot of reps between Alex Pritchard and Stephen Canale, but Alex Pritchard winning the starting job. Man in motion, and then a false start, and Blackhawk gets backed up 5 yards.
Oh, yeah, pre-snap, no question about it. And certainly not what you drew up in the chalkboard to start the game. So we're still at 12:00 to play first period between the kickoff going out of bounds and the penalty. No time off the clock.
Brendan Rodriguez was the man that is called for the penalty on that one. So we're looking at 1st and 15 as they're getting things started. Now, the Blackhawk Cougars are going from right to left. They are in green pants, white shirts, gold helmet, and Aliquippa is in white pants, black shirt, pink numerals tonight. Handoff over the left-hand side. Maurice Trent getting the handoff, and he picks up a few yards.
Yeah, and again, it's a fundamental play, a little bounce run to the outside. Watson Trent doing his best to find a little bit of a seam, but Aliquippa shut it down quickly. Jace Williams, as always, a standout defensive end, was in the way.
Feely talking about the lineup changes on the front of the offensive line. Maddox Javins, he started as a freshman. He's starting tonight. Jamison Feely is a backup fullback, the coach's son. He is in at left guard. Nate Reed, Austin Simmons, and Talon Woodward, who tore an ACL and came back a whole lot sooner than anybody expected. Once again, Pritchard taking a handoff over the left-hand side, and once again, Maurice Watson Trent picking up a couple yards on the play.
Yes, Aliquippa with the stout defense, difficult to run against them on the edge. Cam Lindsey in there assisting, and it's just a difficult situation for Blackhawk to try to get positive rushing yards.
So we have across the front of the line, Dante Campagna is starting at wide receiver, and Maurice Watson Trent obviously at running back, Alex Pritchard at quarterback, and we're going to see a lot of Cody Woodward tonight. Kai Morrow will be calling his number, and also Sam Stewart in tonight. Alex Pritchard in the pistol formation. Watson Trent behind him, back to pass, rolling to his right, looking for a man, and it was deflected near the line of scrimmage, forcing 4th down and 10.
Yeah, my best guess was that he wanted to throw it. He wanted to throw a swing pass, but Aliquippa had pressure off the edge, and at that point it would have been a lateral. It would have been a backward pass. So Pritchard started to look over the line of scrimmage, and that's where Aliquippa had defensive players in numbers.
Alex Pritchard is back to kick. Brandon Banks is set to receive, one of the deep returners. Pritchard, 10 punts on the year, averaging about 27-3, is able to get it off with some pressure. It is taken at the 22-yard line up over the left-hand side, and he finds himself a seam. He's breaking it 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. One man to beat. Can he do it? Looks like he is. 10-5. Touchdown, Aliquippa.
Harrison Walker just takes the punt, and that's what we call a flag football touchdown because there was no contact at any point. No Blackhawk Cougar ever laid a hand on him. If it was flag football, he wouldn't even have had his flag taken. And again, this is why Walker is on Aliquippa's 4x100 team. He's a fast kid. He showed it as he went down the sideline.
And no denying that there is compatibility here between playing football and being on a track team. And we just saw it right there. Now Aliquippa setting up for the extra point. Malachi Shagog is 12 of 19 on the season for extra point attempts. Once again, he is a straight-on kicker. And they're getting themselves lined up right now. 10:02 to go in the first quarter. Snap, hold, kick, good. And Aliquippa takes the lead 7-0 over the Blackhawk Cougars. We'll come back with more from Mines Field and Aliquippa in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
And we are back. 10:02 to go in the first quarter, and Aliquippa showed that they have quick strike capabilities on special teams, and you want to win offense, you want to win defense, you want to win special teams, and that punt return for a touchdown just really setting the stage here for Aliquippa.
To be honest with you, I don't know why they would kick it to him. It's just that simple. Why would you even kick it to Walker or Banks?
Kick to the 20. Maurice Watson Trent over to the left-hand side, able to get out to about the 25-6-yard line. They're going to call it the 24, actually, because he backpedaled a bit. So they give him 1st and 10 from his own 24.
Yes, and it's just tough. He actually tried to spin. He tried to reverse a little bit and make something happen there, but that just wound up in less yardage because Aliquippa does not get fooled by the spin moves. They have plenty of bodies there to cut things off.
Blackhawk coming out in their first possession, 3 plays, no yardage whatsoever. Punted it away, touchdown Aliquippa. They now come out. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Alex Pritchard is in the pistol formation. Maurice Watson Trent set up right behind him. Overlooking the defense. Defense is set 1 deep back. Watson Trent now in a wide-out position, empty backfield. Pritchard keeps it up the middle, is able to pick up a few yards. Looks as though he fumbled the ball. It is loose, back around the 15, and Aliquippa picks it up. He's running into the end zone. Touchdown, Aliquippa.
Yeah, Jace Williams picks it up. Again, we've talked about his prowess as a right defensive end, and first the ball was fumbled on the turf. I think somebody's helmet knocked it loose. Then there was a bounce, and people dove for it, and that subsequent dive by a Blackhawk player and an Aliquippa player led to even more of a fumble. And at that point, when it came loose, Jace Williams, wearing jersey 33, came in, scooped it up, and made the score.
13-0. We are just over 2 minutes into this game. 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and Aliquippa already having the lead. And once again, they're going for the extra point attempt. Down, up, and it's good. 14-0. Aliquippa over Blackhawk. The kickoff coming up next on Beaver County Radio.
The Standard Bar and Grill on the river in Bridgewater is the place to enjoy summer. A great atmosphere, delicious food, and plenty of drinks are what you'll find at The Standard. The Standard in Bridgewater is boater friendly and has their own dock. DJs and live bands on Fridays and Saturday nights, an outside bar, an area to dance, and a beautiful view from their patio are just a few of the amenities at The Standard. That's The Standard Bar and Grill in Bridgewater.
Two quick touchdowns for Aliquippa. Harrison Walker on a punt return, able to return that off of a Alex Pritchard punt, went the distance, picked up 7. And then on the very first play from scrimmage after the ensuing kickoff, there was a fumble. And then Jace Williams recovers that fumble, able to scurry in from about 10, 12 yards out, pick up the score. So now it's Aliquippa 14, Blackhawk nothing. 9:39 to go, and the kickoff. It's deep, and it's returned from around the 11-yard line, running up the middle, looking for some room. No real room to be found, and they get it out to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Campagna tried to cut to his left, but the Cam Lindsey was in the way, and then he cut back to the right and was tackled. But the situation, if you just joined us, Aliquippa, 2.5 minutes into this game, leads 14-0, and they haven't hiked the ball yet. I take that back. They've hiked the ball twice on extra point attempts, but they haven't hiked it from scrimmage.
Not one offensive play. Great point. Now, Blackhawk, once again, 3 running backs and a T formation. Everybody's up close. Handoff to Maurice Watson-Trent over the right-hand side, able to get 1 yard on the play, sets up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Blackhawks in a tough situation. You know, back in the 90s, for example, Blackhawk and Aliquippa scrimmaged each other regularly in the preseason. It was a great matchup. Frank Morocco and Joe Hamilton were the coaches. Joe Hamilton, he was impressed with this player from Aliquippa. Ty Law caught his attention as a high school player.
Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Ty, that was again in the early 90s. That's when Aliquippa went on to win the state in 91. Also, when their superintendent, Dr. Woods, was a sophomore outside linebacker on that state championship team.
Blackhawk, everybody in tight, 3 running backs. Handoff over the left side. Handoff going to Thomas Price. Thomas Price able to pick up a yard, maybe 2 on the play. It's now out to the 28-yard line, closer to the near hash around midfield. The midway point. Now it's 3rd and 7 for Blackhawk. And this down and distance, you do not want to be in this situation against Aliquippa.
No, you don't want to be in it against anyone, but certainly a team like Aliquippa with all its speed to the edges. Let's see what Blackhawk chooses to employ.
Blackhawk now 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 close to the left in the pistol formation. Takes a snap. Flag on the play, pass out to the flat, incomplete pass. Now it's about seeing what the flag is. It looks as though a 1 signal from the near line judge is saying that it's illegal motion on Blackhawk, and already got the signal from Coach Warfield that it is going to be declined. Our officials for the game tonight?
Yeah, how about that? I'll start you with a trivia question. There's 2 4,000-yard rushers on this field tonight. I'll put it to you that way. One of them is Tyke Hayes, and the other one is the side judge, Brad Tokar, who played at Fort Cherry and later at Westminster.
Is that right?
He's
nice.
Joined by Kirk Neal, the back judge, David Greer, the line judge. The linesman is Bill Dadowski. The referee is Todd DeBrock. And the umpire is our own pal, John Urich.
John Urich, Newcastle guy, known him going back, oh my goodness, 30 years now.
LRL.
And now the punt away. And once again, Arian Walker takes it over the left-hand side. He has another seam. He's breaking it. He has a man to beat. He beat him 10-5. Touchdown, Aliquippa. My goodness, Harrison Walker, 2 touches, 2 touchdowns.
The problem is there's a flag on the 47 where an Aliquippa player was engaged with Blackhawks outside containment guy. But I again, I'd never professed to be a football coach, but I would kick the ball out of bounds. I would not allow Aliquippa to return it.
It is coming back. Aliquippa's offense is making their way onto the field. So no touchdown for Harrison Walker. But even with that penalty, the way that he runs, it's just beautiful to watch him.
Unless you're wearing white and green with a gold helmet.
Then it's not nice at all to watch him.
The situation, it still reverts. It still makes me think of 2017 when current Pitt defensive back M.J. Devonshire led the nation in punt returns for touchdown in 2017. Part of what Quaker Valley did to defeat Aliquippa at then Heinz Field in that WPIL championship game was kick the ball low and in nowhere near Devonshire. That's just what you try to do when the other team has game-breaking weapons returning punts.
Aliquippa setting up Quentin Good, first opportunity to take control of this offense. 7:43 to go in the first quarter. Inside handoff up the middle. Tyke Hayes able to get past the 50-yard line. He is now into Blackhawk territory. Wonderful pickup of about 8 yards on the play. They started at their own 43.
And if that's an 8-yard pickup that you're telling me, then it winds up being 7.5 after contact.
Aliquippa going up-tempo. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Hayes in the backfield by himself. Quentin Good started off underneath center. He's now coming back. Giving direction to Hayes to the right side. Blackhawk is running a one deep safety at this point.
Right.
Trying to stop the run, keeping everybody
coverage
close.
on Banks. I think they're going to test
And Quentin Good is going deep down the right-hand side. He has a man. Does he get him? No. Great defensive coverage by Blackhawk to break that up at the very last moment.
It appeared to be Campagna, but you could see that it was single coverage and that Banks, you could just see Cheese. But we talk about his arm strength. We're pretty much seated at the line of scrimmage. That ball was launched from the 40, his own 40. It wound up near that was basically 55 in the air.
He has an arm. He truly does. There are schools at the next level that must be paying attention to this young man. Hayes over the right-hand side, able to get first down yardage down inside the 45, down around the 43-yard line. Another big run for Aliquippa.
Yeah, he's falling forward. This, in terms of when he's tackled, he falls forward. But his offensive line is certainly helping him out as well.
Hayes looking so good this season. 103 rushes, 740 yards, averaging 7.2 a carry. Last week, it was 11 attempts for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aliquippa back to the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers, 1 left, 1 right. Tight ends, 1 on either side. Inside handoff to Hayes once again. Over the left-hand side this time. Gets beyond the 40-yard line, inside the 40 to close to the 39. Pickup of a long 2, short 3.
Yeah, the first time they went left side. And again, the key man is Braylon, or Bray as they call him, Bray Wilcox. He's the center. He's an Aliquippa legacy, but he is the one who gets things going at the center position.
Yeah, speaking about the center, Braylon Wilcox, he is bookended by Willie Simmons, the third on the left guard, and then Miles Green, the freshman, at right guard. Kamari Matthews at left tackle. Play action pass. He hits his man over the middle. Touchdown, Aliquippa. Yep. Brandon Banks. What a pass, what a catch. 6 more points for Aliquippa.
Yeah, it's a simple slant pattern. You take I'd say Banks probably went down the field 8 yards. Then he broke sharply to the left, but it was a slant, well-designed play. Caught it in stride, the ball on his fingertips, and he makes the reception without question.
Brandon Banks, the Yale commit, picking up 6 on that great reception from Quentin Good. Now Aliquippa looking to go up 21-0. At 5:30 left to go in the first quarter. Kick down, up, good. And it's now 21-0. Aliquippa over Blackhawk. We'll come back in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
If you're just joining us, you may be surprised to hear that the score is 21-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. And Blackhawk, 2 punts, 1 punt returned for a touchdown, another one returned for a touchdown but called back because of a penalty. But Aliquippa's winning 21-0 at this point, and they've only had the ball on offense 1 time.
Yeah, but I can't say I'm surprised, though.
Malachi Shagog with the kickoff. It is a short kick. And number 6, Stephen Canali has it, one of the up men, and they get it beyond the 35-yard line. It looks as though it's going to be somewhere around the 37, maybe the 38, 39-yard line to set things up for Blackhawk.
Yeah, Canali was playing quarterback when we last saw Blackhawk on Beaver County radio in the game at Beaver Falls earlier in the season, right, during the preseason, during exhibition. But since then, things have shifted, and Pritchard is now behind center.
Blackhawks set up 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, tight end to the right-hand side. Handoff to Maurice Watson. Trent up the middle, breaking it to the left-hand side, able to get really good yardage, and finally ankle tackled around the 40-yard line in Aliquippa territory.
That is certainly something that Blackhawk could use as a reference point. If nothing else, it gives them, 1, the ability that they can create a hole in Aliquippa's defensive line, and 2, that Watson Trent can accelerate through there and pick up massive yardage.
No big surprise that Canali came in for a play. They oftentimes rotate them in back and forth. Coach Feely said he will do that throughout the course of the game. Alex Pritchard back at quarterback now. Maurice Watson Trent is the back behind him. Pistol formation. Oh, nope, not. That was ended off to Thomas Price. Thomas Price, big offensive performance last week against Central Valley. He's a standout for them on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he creates a new dimension. He can certainly overpower people, but that time Aliquippa met him at the point of attack and stood him up.
And there's a flag on the play. It looks as though they're marching them back. So from a 1st and 10 at the 41, it is now from the 39. It is now going back 10 yards, holding penalty on the play. So they're back to the Aliquippa 49. They have to get to the 29 to get a first down. First and 20 for Blackhawk.
That's brutal for Aliquippa. It truly, or I should say for Blackhawk, because as soon as Blackhawk comes up with positive yardage, this hits, and it just affects the mood in general.
Blackhawk now. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers to the right. Low snap, loose ball, picked up by Aliquippa. He's running for a touchdown. Nobody's going to get in his way.
Jace Williams again.
Touchdown, Aliquippa.
I think that was Tyke. I think that was
Tyke Hayes.
Let's take a look. No, let's take a look. No, it was Williams. It was 33. I'm pretty sure Tyke is in front of us. That was Jace. I'm pretty sure. It's
touchdown, whatever it is. It's touchdown.
Let's take a closer look. We've got our replay. We're looking at the pink numbers on the black jerseys.
It's just difficult to be able to tell. Here's what we know for sure.
It wasn't Tyke because I saw him standing at the 50.
What we know for sure is that Malachi Shagog is setting up for another extra point. Down, kick up, good. 28-0. Aliquippa over Blackhawk. 4:04 to go in the first quarter. It's Beaver County football live from Heinz Field in Aliquippa on Beaver County Radio.
If you have big plans for this fall, like a new car or home remodeling project, but feel like it's getting a little late in the game and you're out of timeouts, it's time to call an audible, a 749 audible. This is Coach Andy Dengel from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. 24-month personal loan. Set it up to the line, the teller line that is, and call your own 749 Audible. Stop in for details. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
4:04 to go in the first quarter. It's 28-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. And it's being done on special teams. It's turnovers and one possession for Aliquippa on offense so far.
Well, I think the whole thing that set it off was Cam Lindsay accurately anticipating the snap count and jumping in through the center exchange and disrupting things.
Campagna has the ball inside the 15-yard line, breaking it over the right-hand side, trying to make a man miss, gets it out over the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there for Blackhawk. Blackhawk, one big running play by Maurice Watson-Trent, and that's been about what we've seen from Blackhawk tonight.
Yeah, they're very, very, they probably have zero total offense because that run was a positive, but they've had several negative drives. And even the fumble recovery yards, I think that's minus yards rushing. So, yeah, the one thing they do, they have a market, as veteran reporter Bill Allman notes, they definitely have a market advantage in time of possession.
Inside handoff up the middle, able to pick up a few yards on the play. We'll call it about 3 out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, again, Watson-Trent is a reliable guy. He if you give him a crease, he's going to pick up something, but it's just Aliquippa's driving him back. So even when that hole opens and you think it might be a big gainer, it shuts quickly when the linebackers close in.
It looks as though that Pritchard is still at quarterback. Maurice Watson-Trent behind him. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Everybody for Aliquippa is in tight. Nobody's more than 5 yards off the ball except for the cornerback on the near side. Handoff right up the middle, going absolutely nowhere. They completely stuffed that play.
Oh, well, yeah, they've come to recognize that Watson-Trent appears to be option 1, 2, and 3 for Blackhawk. So they're doing everything they can to put people up front at the line of scrimmage.
When we talked to Coach Feely earlier, he did mention how important it was to figure out a way of getting Dante Campagna the ball on offense, get him some touches. So far, not much of an effort to get him the ball. The only person to get the ball besides Maurice Watson-Trent has been Thomas Price.
He's the inside slot man. Let's see if they look to him now. No.
What looked as though it was a little bit of a keeper. Then he decided to go out to the right-hand side, threw it away, and sets up a 4th and 10 for Blackhawk.
The fancy term now is RPO, which stands for run pass option. But against Aliquippa, it stands for run for your life because he's getting chased out of the pocket, and so he does nothing but throw it over into the sideline area.
So Blackhawk is set up for the punt. And once again, Alex Pritchard, their punter, is set up. Man coming in late for Aliquippa to get to 11. Aliquippa has 3 returners across to return this ball. One of them is going to get it. One of them did. Coming over the right-hand side, he has his jets going, breaking it to the 20, inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. And another great return. So they make it very difficult.
Well, Brandon Banks, it was his turn this time. He caught it right near where we are. He caught it about the 44. So he gets 6 plus 20. It's a 26-yard return, but the field has clearly been flipped.
It's interesting. Aliquippa decided to go with 3 returners. I've not seen 3 returners before on a punt return, trying to do their best to be able to get that ball, keep it from going out of bounds, and getting a positive return, and yet again they did. Now it's 1st and 10. Ball's at the 30-yard line of Blackhawk, 2:16 to go in the first quarter. 28-0 Aliquippa over the Cougars. Quentin Good in the shotgun formation. Back to pass, looking for somebody, has a man out in the flat. Pass complete out to the 26-yard line. Pick up a 4 yards on the play. Number 7, Jasir McCracken Jr. is able to get the reception on that play.
Yeah, he was the underneath man. They sent a back out also, and they kind of looped around each other, leaving McCracken open for the reception.
Quentin Good, shotgun formation once again, no huddle. Everybody up to the line quick. 3 wide receivers, man in motion on toward the right-hand side. A little bit of pressure. Quentin Good looking for somebody. Just throws out of bounds, setting himself up for another play. Very smart move. If you don't have anybody, just throw it away.
Yeah, he was outside the so-called tackle box, I believe, so it's not grounding. But the idea that, that was actually credit Blackhawk for playing hard. That was the Cougars' best defensive rush of the evening. I would say that. That was the most pressure that Cheese has experienced in the game.
And that pressure coming from number 4, Cody Woodward, the Rover, leads the team in tackles with 43 on the season. Quentin Good, shotgun, running backs both sides, hands it off to the one on his left side. Tyquee Hayes has it out to the 22-23-yard line, setting up a 4th down and what looks to be 2, maybe 3 yards.
Yes, so we'll see how that plays out. It will be Aliquippa's clearly going to go for it. The ball's on the left hash mark, so we'll see if they roll anyone out to the wide side.
Quentin Good set up under center. 2 running backs in the backfield. Hayes in the fullback. Hayes gets it up the middle, able to get beyond the 20-yard line. 1st down yardage. Referees announcing. Are they announcing a 1st down? There's not. It's interesting. There isn't a signal. Is there a flag on the play?
No flag.
There's no flag on the play. It took a while, though, for the guys running the chains to be able to recognize that it was a 1st down. So now they're in the red zone. They're at the 20-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 now for Aliquippa from the 20 with 43 seconds to go on the running clock.
I'm doing my best with these numbers, but I honestly believe that John Tracy is in the game wearing jersey 6 to the left of Cheese.
Cheese back to pass, looking for a man deep in the corner, has him wide open. Touchdown, Aliquippa. Good, Quentin Good to Brandon Banks. Brandon Banks, his 2nd touchdown on the night, 1st on a punt return. This one on a beautiful pass reception of 20 yards in the corner. Yeah, ran a post pattern wide open.
Right, it was the exact opposite of how he scored the first time. The first time he ran a slant, which is a few steps out, then a sharp break on a diagonal to your left. This one he ran a few steps out and then made a sharp turn to his right into the far right corner of the end zone. Now's the chance to put the clock on.
34-0. Extra point is up and good by Malachi Shagog, and we're at 35-0. Right. Aliquippa over Blackhawk with 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
It's not every day of the week that you see 35-point rule kick in, but again, the 35-point rule where they run the clock, that does not kick in till after halftime in the 3rd period. So, but once the second half begins, the clock will run, regardless of what the Cougs might do in the meantime. But it's 35-0 right now.
Let's go over this scoring. We have a punt return for a touchdown. We have a fumble return for a touchdown. And then a touchdown on a slant that was caught by Brandon. And then another touchdown, 38 yards. And then now this post pattern. Now we're looking at 35-0. Aliquippa just having their way, every way they possibly could. Offense, defense, special teams.
No question. And it's homecoming night. So things are alive and well for Aliquippa at the pit.
27 seconds left. Aliquippa to kickoff. Malachi Shagog. He's now into his 39th kickoff on the season. Ball caught by one of the up men. Looks as though it is Thomas Price Jr. that got it. And it's out to the 44-yard line. 45 is where the officials 44-yard line is when the officials say this ball will be placed, and Blackhawk gets it there. Coach, so you're looking at 35-0, 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. You're looking. Where do you find moral victories here?
Well, you don't. The first thing you do, again, you kick the ball out of bounds. That's on punts. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is hang on to the football.
Pritchard, they hung on to the football, but lost about 5 yards on the play on a handoff. Going to the left-hand side, nothing for Maurice Watson-Trent on that one.
Yeah, that's going to pretty much end the first period with Blackhawk down by 35.
35-0. We're at Heinz Field in Aliquippa. The second quarter is next on Beaver County Radio.
Al's Corner is not just for gas. Well, you are right. They offer gas, of course, but also fresh food and snacks every day. Let them do the cooking. They make fresh subs on their homemade bread daily. They offer hot foods like Taco Tuesday, Fish on Friday, plus wraps, salads, to mention a few. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make a visit to Al's Corner in Koppel. Planning a graduation party? Call Al's today to place your order. May your party be the envy of your family and friends. Follow them on Facebook for their daily specials. That's Al's Corner on the corner off Route 18 and 351 in Koppel.
We are starting the second quarter at Heinz Field in Aliquippa, the pit. And this pit has definitely captured some Cougars. The Cougars trailing now 35-0 to Aliquippa. 5 remarkable scores, 3 of them on offense, but it didn't start that way. The first 2 touchdowns actually were done by special teams and defense.
Yeah, I think it might be 2 of them on offense. Because
that's right. Brandon Banks on both of those touchdown receptions.
Yeah, but that's the math of the situation. It's just Aliquippa's totally dominated the game, and Blackhawk is they've just got to not turn the ball over if they want to just make any kind of a push here.
Full backfield handoff to Maurice Watson-Trent over the left-hand side, and he's able to pick up a couple of yards on the play. He gets to the 41. So now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13. They've not been able to have much success throwing the ball. They've only had one big run play with Maurice Watson-Trent. Everything else has been rather stifling for Aliquippa. Once again, Aliquippa has all of their defenders within 5 yards of the ball. Nobody's back deep for any kind of a pass play. The quarterback keeper looking for some space, not able to find any, gets it out to around the 46-yard line. Looked as though it was more of a wildcat with number 2, Dante Campagna. Yes. Able to get out to the 46. Still, you're looking at a 4th and 8, and Alex Pritchard is set to punt the ball. And you're just saying, even though there are 3 guys out there, if the ball only goes 15, 20 yards and it goes out of bounds, is that a successful punt?
Yeah, relative to what we've seen so far tonight, yes. Particularly the ball is being kicked on the left hash mark. See how deep you can kick it down to the sideline.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is kick it to the right hash mark because it is on the near side. Pritchard
we'll see
with
how
the
it
kick,
goes.
And he kicks it over to the right-hand side directly at number 9 for Aliquippa. Takes it up the middle. He's breaking tackles, making man miss. He has 2 people to beat. Can he beat him? No, fumbles the ball. Blackhawk, could they land on it? My goodness, what a return. He was doing a great job of being able to avoid tacklers, and then ultimately a strip by Blackhawk. And it looks as though the officials are saying that the fumble was recovered by Blackhawk, now 1st and 10 inside their own 20.
Again, Blackhawk kicks the ball to Brandon Banks. Brandon Banks already has 2 touchdowns against them. He had 1 punt return called back, but they kicked to him, and he ran it, let's see, 20, 29. I'd give him credit for about a 52-yard return before he fumbled. So Blackhawk does have the football. That's the good news for the Cougars. The bad news is that they're on 18 pending. Now the officials are looking at the Aliquippa bench. I think there's a question on where the football should be spotted. So apparently it's going to be Blackhawk football at the 30.
Wait a second. No, it's Aliquippa football. They're
football.
saying that he may have stepped out before the ball was.
Before the fumble, right.
Aliquippa has the ball.
Right. They surely
First and
do.
10 from the 30.
They surely do. 10-17 to play, second period.
Aliquippa, Quentin Good, taking the snap, handoff, nowhere to run, stuffed at the line of scrimmage, losing a few yards on the play.
Yeah,
that was John Tracy on the carry.
Yeah, that was his first carry, but he'll get more, that's for certain.
Aliquippa with a second down now and 13 from the Blackhawk 33-yard line.
My best guess was with where that ball was spotted that was about a 49-yard punt return by Brandon Banks, who's accounted for some serious offensive numbers tonight.
Snap back, inside handoff, up the middle. Great run, causing Blackhawk Cougars to miss. Gets it inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, Tracy, again, he is a reliable performer. I last saw him, again, against Bishop McDevitt at Cumberland Valley. He had a very solid game against the Crusaders, a very good compliment to Hayes, because they again, as Coach Warfield mentioned in your interview, he keeps Tyquay fresh.
John Tracy to Good's right side, takes the handoff, spins, great spin move, gets it inside to the 20-yard line, very close to a first down. Very important where the referees decide to spot this.
What they're doing is using Marcus Council as quarterback. That gives them all the more experience. We'll try to do our best to call out other subs for Aliquippa who come in, but this is valuable. This is second quarter game experience. That's a great thing if you can have your reserves do that. Council remains in the game at quarterback.
Last week, they were able to get all the way to the third-string quarterback and give him some quality reps late in the game. But yes, number one, Council in at quarterback, handoff over the right-hand side. That looks as though that was Tyquay Hayes that had the ball, able to get it inside to around the 16-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, he's in the – well, the bottom line is now that this is Heinz Field, he is in the Heinz red zone.
Yes, he is. Aliquippa moving from right to left. Once again, Aliquippa in black and pink. Blackhawk in green pants and white shirt.
As we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you're going to see plenty of that in the weeks ahead.
Snap back, fumbled snap, and Council was able to just fall on it. Looks as though he may have.
I thought 16 of Blackhawk picked it up. That's my best guess, is that
we're waiting for officials.
Rodriguez picked it up.
Officials are talking, and now they're saying, yes, it is Blackhawk ball. There was a muff snap. Council was in the shotgun, wasn't able to handle it cleanly. The ball hits the ground, and then Blackhawk able to recover. So it's 1st and 10 for Blackhawk from their own 19-yard line, set up on the near hash as they're moving from left to right.
Yes, and basically you'd have to credit Rodriguez for an aggressive play because he and Council were the two participants. It's almost like an August football camp training drill, and Rodriguez was able to yank the ball free for Blackhawk.
Pritchard set up by himself, taking the ball, quarterback draw, right-hand side, finds some room, 40, 45, 50, two men to beat, gets out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Aliquippa. Great play by Blackhawk.
No question about it. That goes, 31 to the 50, and then another 14. That's going to go as a 45-yard pickup for the Cougars.
Great quarterback keeper, quarterback draw over the right-hand side as all of the receivers are spread out wide, forcing a bit, unable to have Aliquippa keep all that defense in nice and tight the way they've been playing a lot so far in this game.
It was quite clearly designed play, too, we should tell our listeners.
Yes, absolutely. 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Once again, Pritchard by himself. Takes a snap, decides to keep it once again over the right-hand side. Stiff arm, but Aliquippa this time, they're not having anything to do with that. He gets it maybe to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that play went for 44 yards, less than the last one.
Yes, it did. Picked up 1 yard, got down to the 40 officially. He was at the 41 is where they said that he was taken out. And we need to get to the Fry Transportation Update Desk in a moment here. We will do that with some scores for you momentarily. This score here, 35-0, Aliquippa over Blackhawk.
Midway, yes, almost
Stephen
midway.
Canale is in at quarterback. Handoff to Maurice Watson. Trent over the left side, able to pick up a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Referees are saying he got it down to the 39-yard line. They're going to give him 1.
Yeah, and again, it's difficult. They tried to run a cross-buck play. They tried to bring it back to the short side, the wide side of the field, but Aliquippa just has too many men at the point of attack. Spearheading that defensive surge was Justice Starks at the defensive tackle position for the Aliquippa Quips.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking with the senior high principal, Miss Stacy Alexander, here at Aliquippa. We'll also have a complete list of scores for you as well from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Now, Pritchard takes the ball, keeps it himself, blocker out in front, gets it down to the 35-yard line, setting up a 4th and what looks to be a 5 yards to go at the Aliquippa 36-yard line.
Yes, you would venture at this point, with all the problems that Blackhawk has had punting the football, that they're going to go for it here. As we see Pritchard on the far sideline talking to the Blackhawk think tank, we'll see what they come up with. It's certainly 5 yards to go for the Cougars. The ball nearly to the left hash mark, so there would be a little bit of a wide side to the right should they choose to roll out.
Pritchard. He's in the pistol formation. Maurice Watson Trent is behind him. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And
the Cougars
there is a stoppage in the play. They call timeout and will call timeout along with them. Back with more from Heinz Field. 35-0. Aliquippa over Blackhawk.
At MRS Physical Therapy, they understand that you expect to receive treatment that will help you move better, feel better, and recover faster and more completely from an injury or operation. But did you know that you can make an appointment to come see MRS Physical Therapy without a doctor's referral? And they can offer same-day appointments. You can come see them whenever you want and come back as many times as you wish for 30 days. There's no need to wait until you see a primary care physician. Get treatment when you need it most at MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
From the Fry Transportation Update Desk, Central Valley, Montour, they're tied up at 7. West Allegheny is leading Ambridge 6-0. Chartiers Valley 20, Newcastle 7. Union topping Rochester 19-0. The Shannock over Freedom 7-0. Quaker Valley 7-0 over South Park, and Fort Cherry 27-0 over Avella. So, here, Pritchard in the shotgun. 5 wide receivers out. Maurice Watson Trent in motion. 4 wide receivers to the far side. It almost intercepted. He tried throwing a slant pattern, and it was...
Cam Lindsey jumps the route.
He did. He did a fantastic job of jumping that route and breaking up the pass so close to getting an interception. And if he would have caught it, he may have been gone.
Blackhawk doing you give them credit. They had a play in mind. They did the best they could with it. It didn't work, and now they got to go back to defense. But to be honest with you, that's better than the way they have. That's better than a punt with a massive return at the end. So credit Blackhawk for trying their best shot, calling the timeout, trying to get a play together. It just didn't go against the Aliquippa defense.
It looks as though Quentin Good is back in at quarterback. 1 man to his side, runs out in motion, catches the ball in the flat. John Tracy has it, looking for a man to beat. Looks as though he did. Out to the 50, 40, down inside the 35 to the 30-yard line. Great catch and run by John Tracy.
Yeah, that goes as a 44-yard pickup. So Aliquippa, we talked about this in our pregame show, the way that Aliquippa, in addition to having people like Banks in the slot, they're comfortable with throwing to backs out of the backfield as well. And they do. Now they have a new look. Cam Lindsey is in on offense. Let's see how they utilize that young man. Quentin Good is still the quarterback. McCracken looks like he's back there. Tyke Hayes is not out there. Oh yeah, he is.
Yes.
He's next to Cheese. So it's Cam is in a slot. They got three guys to throw. I think Aliquippa called. That did seem like a whole new substitution. So that's why they call timeout.
Yeah, they want to get themselves together. I tell you what, we'll get ourselves together too. 35-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. More from Heinz Field in a moment.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceeds safety and service throughout the day while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
4:47 to go in the first half. Aliquippa driving once again against Blackhawk. They have it inside Blackhawk territory at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10, after a big catch and run by John Tracy. Setting up this, Quentin Good out for a series, now back in at quarterback.
Yes, so they've got Harrison Walker, McCracken, and Lindsey out to the right.
Three wide receivers, now a flag is on the play.
I think
the illegal motion against Aliquippa. The illegal motion, Aliquippa. Warfield is not happy about this. He mentioned earlier in the pregame interview that he's not as happy as he otherwise could be with some of the officiating that he's experienced, especially from last week.
He specifically said the judgment calls we can't control, but the pre-snaps and things like that we can control.
Apparently he isn't seeing it, or he saw it and isn't all that happy with his own players off of a timeout. Inside handoff to Tyke Hayes, and he gets it over the 35 down in close to the 30-yard line, around the 31 as he ran off tackle.
Now it looks like Aliquippa will adopt a more traditional set with Hayes and Tracy in the backfield together as we are in the waning moments of the half. Aliquippa in complete control of this game. They're at the point where they're trying to stay sharp, but they're trying to not suffer any type of injuries.
Three wide receivers to the right-hand side. And it looks as though Good still in at quarterback. He's looking to the bench, trying to get a signal. Communicates it to his team. He's set up. Blackhawk is set up in a two-deep safety look. They were expecting a pass. The pass is coming. Touchdown, Aliquippa.
Yep.
My goodness, they were expecting the pass on that one. He split the safeties.
Tracy out of the backfield. We've talked about that repeatedly, how they can do that, and they just shoot him right out of the backfield, right down Broadway, and he is unaccounted for by the Blackhawk linebackers in secondary. It's hard to see the There are the fireworks are what makes your TV screen blink on and off. But the bottom line is it's a touchdown Aliquippa. It was a straight fly pattern out of the backfield by John Tracy. We mentioned him when you mentioned he was, we mentioned him being back. He's a threat. And
the extra point was blocked. And so it's 41-0 Aliquippa, 3:48 to go in the second quarter. That may be the only blemish that is on this team in this game so far, is a block extra point at 41-0.
And they did have a turnover on a fumble, but other than that, it's been a remarkable night for Aliquippa.
It sure has. We'll come back with more in a moment and the kickoff from Heinz Field on Beaver County Radio.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but winning is all in the game when you shop for a used car at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Because the Beaver Valley Auto Mall believes that the experience of buying a used car should be an exciting and simple process. When you're looking for a used car near the Beaver Valley area, look no further than the inventory of cars and trucks and SUVs at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall. Stop in today and see their incredible selection. You'll find all the help you need or click BeaverValleyCars.com. Beaver Valley Auto Mall, near the mall in Center Township.
It's all Aliquippa, 41-0 over Blackhawk. 3:48 to go in the second quarter. The 35-point rule will kick into effect after halftime for the rest of the game. Until then, it continues on as a normal clock. Kickoff from Aliquippa, short kick, picked up by number 16. For
Rodriguez again.
Blackhawk, it looked like Brandon Rodriguez has it, able to get a couple of yards out to the 40 and no further than that. So Blackhawk has it, 1st and 10 from their own 40, and they're looking at something that they can put on tape that they can walk away from this game and feel good about.
Yeah, they've had a couple good running plays, that's for sure. But I'm racking my brains whether they've completed a pass. I think not. I'm trying to think of a completed pass for Blackhawk. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Maybe it will come here as they have 3 wide receivers wide to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Nope, Maurice Watson-Trent gets the ball, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he will. It's now 2nd and 10 from their own 40.
And that's perhaps the biggest problem for Blackhawk on offense now is you've mentioned it several times in your description how many players Aliquippa has defensively in the so-called box up near the line of scrimmage. With Blackhawk at 0 passing yards in probably, I would only say maybe 2 or 3 passing attempts, including that 1 4th down play, unless you count these rollouts.
Right.
Then if you don't keep them honest with the pass, they'll continue to have black jerseys up on the line of scrimmage.
Blackhawk in a similar formation. Quarterback keeps it, gets out over the 40 to the 41-yard line, near side of the field. Aliquippa is able to stop it. The real struggle is the offensive line. There isn't a senior that is playing right now. There is one junior, Jamison Feely. He's normally at fullback. Jamison Feely, he's actually a sophomore. So you look at Maddox Javins, he's a sophomore. He started last year as a freshman. Nate Reed's a sophomore. He moved from fullback as well. Austin Simmons, he didn't play last year. Last year he played hockey. He's playing both this year. And Talon Woodward, he's coming back off of a torn ACL. So you really have somewhat of a hodgepodge here of an offensive line. And Aliquippa is just too strong and too fast.
Blackhawk has some big guys on the sideline, but they're inactive tonight, as you mentioned. Timeout Blackhawk, it looks like.
We're taking timeout, too. Back with more. 41-0, the Quips over the Cougars from Heinz Field.
The award-winning Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston provides a delicious family dining experience. Grand Valley Inn is a great place for a party or event. They have banquet rooms for small and large gatherings. Fish and Friday night football go great together in Beaver County. The Grand Valley Inn has great fish and seafood specials on Fridays, live music on the weekends through October, and trivia night on Thursdays. Follow Grand Valley Inn on Facebook to keep up with all the fun. That's Grand Valley Inn on Route 51 in Falston.
3rd and 9 for Blackhawk. Live from Heinz Field, the Quips all over the Cougars, 41-0. So a 3rd and 9 play, and I believe that you're right, there hasn't been a completed pass. And they've had one nice run with Maurice Watson-Trent, and they've had a couple of nice runs.
One nice run with Pritchard.
Yes, and that's been about the extent of the offense. They need another nice run here to get their first down of the game.
Plus, the other thing they don't want to do is have to punt the ball to Aliquippa one more time this half.
Pritchard in the pistol. Maurice Watson-Trent behind him. Price is behind him. He's out in motion to the left-hand side. He's going to throw, decides to keep it, gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Right.
4th and 9
a good shot by Curtis of focusing in on Panther coach Pat Narduzzi. And Aliquippa now they're going to call timeout because they want to set up a punt return. They've had an awful lot of success returning the football tonight, and they're trying to get a fresh start on this one.
And if you're just tuning in, they're doing something that is a little bit different than what I've seen before. I've seen, obviously, a lot of one deep returner. Sometimes you'll have two deep returners, but they've been running a lot of three deep.
But guess why they do that? It's real simple. That diminishes the chances of kicking it out of bounds. If there's only one guy back, then you have room to kick it towards the sideline. But if there's three guys back, one of them has a legitimate chance of catching it before it goes out of bounds. That's why, that's the difference between having three. Just think if there was one outfielder in baseball, there'd be plenty of room in the corners. So you have three outfielders in baseball. That's what Aliquippa's doing right now.
And they force you that if you want to kick it out of bounds, you're going to kick it maybe 10, 15 yards because of those three men deep. Let's see how they have it set up at this point.
Two this time, it looks like.
Only two.
But they happen to be two good ones.
Yeah, two of the amazing ones.
Oh, they have a new punter in it. See that what you talked about, case B, that just happened. That's going to go as a 9-yard punt. The ball was at the 41. We'll see exactly where they spot it. It'll be out near midfield. Let's see the exact line of scrimmage. It started at the 41. It started at Blackhawk's 41. That's where the ball was kicked. That's where the line of scrimmage, and it doesn't even get past midfield. That's going to go as a 6-yard punt.
E.J. Barron is the one who kicked that, number 67. And E.J. Barron has not been able to play as an offensive tackle or defensive tackle. He's back on the sideline now, but he was in just for that punt that went just a few yards. So Aliquippa now once again has the ball, plus territory, 47-yard line of Blackhawk, near hash mark. Number 1 has the ball running. Yep. Council out to the 40-yard line, able to pick up about 7 yards on a scramble. Didn't have anything downfield, but he took what he could get.
No question. He has, but what he did do was get out of bounds, which pretty much stops the clock, and that's their objective. The Aliquippa, particularly if, and again, Council stays out there. Walker comes out, Arison Walker, but they still do have a lot of weapons out there. Banks is on the field. It looks like Tracy's the setback, but Banks is in the slot. They have him in the slot right now, so we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, Banks is out there. Lade Josh, he's a sophomore.
Now Council, they seem to be having to call a timeout because we're at 2 seconds on the play clock.
And they just pumped it back up to 25.
Okay, but
okay.
Aliquippa will face 2nd and 3.
Snap the ball. Council wasn't ready for it, went right by him. Now it's all the way back beyond the 50, 45, between the 45 and the 40-yard line, around the 43-yard line.
Yeah,
maybe they would have been better off calling timeout.
Well, that's about a minus 14. Again, reserves, you're just going to have to give them a chance to get some experience, and that's the situation. But it does wind up a minus 14. The clock continues to run. Aliquippa and Blackhawk both have a timeout each in this game. As we look at our replay, Council wasn't ready for it. The ball just was hiked right past him, but he did have the presence of mind to go back and dive on it. It's always good to dive on it. That way there won't be any advancement by Blackhawk.
Council in shotgun formation. Wide receivers 3 to the left. He's looking for somebody, has a man, completed it at the 50-yard line, and Brandon Banks fell to one knee to catch that ball immediately down. So that sets up now a 3rd down play. They're at the 50. They've got to get to the 37-yard line of Blackhawk, so it's a 4th now and 13.
Yes, but with time waning down, the Aliquippa and again, I don't think Aliquippa will be in any hurry to hike it.
I don't think they have to.
No, they don't. And they appear like it looks like they're heading towards the locker room.
Yes, there's 24 seconds on the play clock, and there are 18 seconds left to go on the game clock. So they're content with leading 41-0. They're going to the locker room. Blackhawk is going to the locker room, and we are going to a break. Coming up in a moment, We will start the halftime show from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth. We'll be speaking with Senior High Principal Miss Stacy Alexander from Aliquippa coming up in a few minutes on Beaver County Radio.
It's time to kick off the Flex Steel Fall Gallery Sale at AK Nahas. Get the comfort, quality, and style you want and save up to 20% off all Flex Steel furniture. Handcrafted for long-lasting beauty and comfort, choose from over 60 Flex Steel styles, the largest selection in Western Pennsylvania. Save up to 20% off Flex Steel, get 12-month special financing, and free local delivery. The Fall Gallery Sale only at AK Nahas, appliance, furniture, mattress, and TV. You'll do okay with AK.
If you're a parent that's already watched plenty of youth baseball or soccer games, you know the value of teamwork. Whether it's the team on the field or your team of family members at home, strengthening that group can pay off in many ways. Keystone Wellness Programs is offering their free Strengthening Families program in Beaver County for families of children ages 10 to 14. Learn how to increase family bonding and communications, all while having fun together. Visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org for details.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
The local McDonald's restaurants are proud to be partners with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring Beaver County high school football games all season long. Stop in to any of the local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burritos, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Text McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Balcones Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Welcome back. 41-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. We'll give you the details on the scoring coming up in just a few minutes. One of the things that I have been so happy to hear about in my interviews with the coach here at Aliquippa, Coach Mike Warfield, and hearing about the scholarship offer that was made to Brandon Banks from Yale, is the expectation of academics. And Senior High Principal Stacy Alexander is joining us. And Miss Alexander, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you for the invitation.
I do appreciate that. The focus on academics. So for so many years, people have just talked about Aliquippa as being a football school. Kids come here, they play football, they play sports, they really excel, and it wasn't academics. At least that was the conversation from the outside in. But there's tremendous focus on academics at this school, especially for the athletes.
Definitely. In every year since I've been here, because this is my 5th year, the focus has always been for us to excel in academics and to make the high school an institution of learning. So that's always been going strong. And I think sometimes it's overshadowed by sports. And we're a sports town. That's okay.
Yes.
But our kids, for them to be on the field, they have to do the academic part so that they can remain eligible. So.
And let's talk about that eligibility. My understanding is that they have to carry a certain grade point average. If they don't, their mandatory study halls in order for them to get their grades up to be able to play?
Yes. So if you are a student that has a 3.0 or higher, you don't have to go to study tables. But anything below that, you have to report to study tables, and you do not get off of that list until you've reached your 3.0. And I'll be honest with you, it's very rare that we have any of our students that have to go to study tables. The numbers have drastically decreased from last year to this year because they're holding their own.
Yes, Coach Warfield was saying the guys will even rib each other.
Oh, yeah.
If they have to go to study table.
I believe it.
What does it mean to you that you have somebody like Brandon Banks? I mean, the idea of kids going from Aliquippa and going on to play at the next level of college, that is a common occurrence, whether it's D3, D2. You have a number of students over the years, especially 2 this year, that are getting a lot of attention about D1.
Yes.
With Tyquee Hayes and Cameron Lindsay,
Yes.
Penn State and Pitt.
Sure.
But there's something special, I would think, about having one of your students, athletes, getting a phone call from a university like Yale that says, we want you here. What does that mean to you?
As an administrator, and Brandon choosing Yale is fantastic. It brought so much joy. But I'll be honest with you, the potential is always there for any student to excel to one of the Ivy League schools. That's not a surprise to me. And our students, although they pick Penn State, they're usually picking for maybe the sport that they're going for and the best fit.
Yes.
But to hear Yale, it almost made everyone look at Aliquippa and go, that's a possibility.
Right.
And so it kind of enlarged the territory for all the students to go, maybe I will look into a school like that. And so Brandon decided to take the leap forward. And I do believe from his leap, others will start to choose that.
Well, talk about that a little bit, about how a decision like Brandon's to go to Yale can then be the inspiration for kids that are all the way down in junior high school and saying, you know what, he can do it, I can do it too.
Yes, but it opens the dialogue just about an Ivy League school.
Yes.
Because kids typically think, I just want to get to the NFL, and they almost bypass the schooling part of it. And so if someone places an offer, of course you want a Pitt or a Penn State at D1, but we just want, I'll be honest with you, I want our kids to go for free. I don't want them to come out of school with debt. And so if football is the avenue to that, then that's what we want. But it starts making them think, yeah, I've never heard that school. What kind of school is that? And it opens the dialogue in our homes, at our family tables. That's perfect. And so Brandon actually choosing Yale certainly catapults our minds to think of something beyond any other thing that we've experienced before.
In my conversation with Coach Warfield last week, he was talking about what would matter most to him as he got older.
Okay.
And it's not counting trophies. And it's not counting championships. It's being able to look back and see what these young men ultimately turned into.
Yes.
And what does that mean to you to have a head coach that is really about molding young men into grown men, much more than what he can do on a football field?
It means that he's attached to the whole person, because once they get off that field, they have lives beyond playing at the pit. And so that means that he's invested in the total child and what they become. And I almost called him Dr. Warfield. Maybe that is a sign. Coach Warfield has an amazing way of always checking in with the students, and they come back. They respect him ultimately, and that's because there's been some kind of contact, heart to heart, beyond just football to football.
Yes.
And end zone to end zone.
Tonight, in fact, last night as well. Tonight's homecoming.
Tonight is homecoming.
But last week, capacity crowd. I mean, people in Aliquippa love coming out for this football team.
Yes.
What does that mean to you? What does it mean to a school to have this level of support for its athletics?
You know what? I can't even imagine anything else. I think when I was an elementary assistant principal and you go to the little kids games, it's from start to finish. So if they start as little Quips and they go all the way up to high school, The Aliquippa community is going to be there, good, bad, indifferent. This is a part of Friday night. It's just kind of like, I'm going to work, but then I'll see you at the game. It's just something that they do.
That's a beautiful thing in Aliquippa.
Yes, it is.
Because there are some schools that don't have that level of commitment. The community doesn't bond that way. Many schools do, but there are some that do not.
Aliquippa, this is small community, is big, but it's a family.
Senior High Principal Ms. Stacy Alexander joining us. Ms. Alexander, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks again for the invitation.
Oh, my goodness, we appreciate the welcome that you've given to us and coming in here and broadcasting the games.
Come back anytime.
We will.
All right.
We will.
Thank you
very much. We'll come back with more. We'll check in with Bruce Fry. We'll go over some of the scoring from the first half. 41-0 Aliquippa all over Blackhawk from Heinz Field in Aliquippa here on Beaver County.
Everyone at Plasmeyer Towing in Elwood City is proud to help sponsor Beaver County Radio's broadcast of local games this football season. Plasmeyer Towing provides their customers with usable auto parts and pays top dollar for junk vehicles. They also offer low prices on towing services. Plasmeyer Towing Services, New Brighton, Elwood City, Beaver County, and Allegheny County. Plasmeyer Towing extends best wishes and safe travel to all the teams this season.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
Are you a believer?
I am absolutely a believer.
And I'm a Baba Beaver believer.
But I'm the biggest Baba Beaver believer.
All right, man, you got me.
Be a Beaver believer in a new Nissan. Get a new Rogue S for just $344 a month, or a new Ultima Premium package for only $386 a month. Plus guaranteed credit approval and the best certified pre-owned warranty.
Stop in and become a Baba Beaver believer like me.
And me.
At Beaver County Auto.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry. Classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
Does someone you know struggle to read? If so, there's tuition-free local help available. The Provident Charter School West at the former Quigley High School in Baden is helping students in grades 1st through 4th. Provident Charter School West teaches students with dyslexia so they can go back to their hometown schools and learn alongside their friends. Provident Charter School West is a tuition-free brick-and-mortar school for children in grades 1st through 4th who are below grade level in reading. For more information, go to providentcharterschool.org.
Spotlight your future this fall at Community College of Beaver County. By attending our admissions showcases, you'll explore campus, talk one-on-one with professors, discover career and transfer-ready programs, and even enroll on the spot. Join us October 7th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Aviation Sciences Center in Chippewa to learn more about piloting, air traffic control, aerospace management, and the Aviation High School Academy. RSVP now at ccbc.edu/showcases.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
$41-0. Aliquippa over Blackhawk. And it's been from the get-go. In fact, Aliquippa able to go up 14-0 and
not hike the ball.
They never touched the ball on offense yet.
Yeah, that's for sure. A 78-yard punt return by Harrison Walker and a 7-yard recovery of a Blackhawk fumble by Jace Williams. So that made it 14-0, and then the route was on. And again, it was 35-0 after one quarter. I believe it was Williams with another 41-yard fumble recovery that kicked. And again, Shigog was perfect in the first quarter, 5 of 5 on extra points. That made it 21-0. Then they threw a slant pass to the left to Brandon Banks for 52 yards. That made it 28-0. Then they threw a slant pass to the outside, what you would call a post pattern to Brandon Banks. That made it 35-0. That was all in the first period. And then the only other time Blackhawk tried to pick up a first down on 4th down, that pass went incomplete. And then the only touchdown of the second quarter, I believe that it was a 49-yard pass. John Tracy is playing for Aliquippa tonight. We hadn't seen him out there for a while. We mentioned before the game that he's an outstanding pass catcher out of the backfield. He ran a delayed route out of the backfield and shot down the middle of the field towards the Heinz Field sign, the giant banner to our left. Caught it in stride from Cheese, and even though the extra point was missed, that kept the score at 41-0, which is where we are now, with Aliquippa about to get the football to start the third period.
Last week, Blackhawk played Central Valley. It was somewhat close. It was within a couple of scores going into the early part of the third quarter.
Well,
but this has really been
all
Aliquippa.
But it's just proof that Aliquippa is head and shoulders above everybody else in the Parkway. They've demolished everybody they've faced. And the other thing, as far as Central Valley, they're struggling right now in that they're losing 14-7 to Montour at the half. So we'll see how that evolves and how that game plays out. But the reality of it is, for right now, is in the Parkway, Aliquippa stands tall.
Montour, I think they're surprising a lot of people this year, aren't they?
Well, it's the same thing. I
guess
they
had
are.
a difficult time against Aliquippa,
right?
But
yeah.
They're winning out with everybody else at this point.
Right. So, well, they have yet to. I don't believe. No, they haven't faced West Allegheny yet either. So they haven't. Again, to me, the top three teams are Central Valley, West Allegheny, and Aliquippa. If Montour beats Central Valley, then fine, we'll put them in at the top. But they were routed by Aliquippa. They haven't played West Allegheny, so I give the Spartans an incomplete 55-0 or whatever it is over Hampton. That I shrug at that. I'm looking only at the Parkway.
Looking at some scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Fort Cherry 35, Avella nothing, Cornell 7, Bishop Canavan is at 7, Montour and Central Valley that Bruce was just talking about 14-7 Montour, Chartiers Valley 28-7 over Newcastle, Quaker Valley tied at 7 with South Park, Union and Rochester, Union 25-6, West Allegheny all over Ambridge 20-0, and that is the latest in scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Rochester because Union was their nemesis, defeated them twice last year, including in the WPIL Class A semifinals, and Braylon Thomas must be working wonders as the Scotties lead the Rams 25-6.
Kickoff is coming up in 3 minutes from Heinz Field for the second half on Beaver County Radio.
When accidents and injuries happen, you need the experience and insight of the legal team at Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, a law firm of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, helping you put your life back together. Attorney Joe George.
You worry about getting better. You worry about taking care of the medical side of things. We'll take care of all the legal side. I don't want you worrying about whether a letter needs to go out to an insurance company. You worry about getting to your doctor's appointments. You worry about getting your physical therapy appointments. You worry about getting better. If you have to have surgery, you worry about take you back and forth to the surgical center or the hospital. And all those things, I try to put my client at ease from the standpoint of, look, this is where things are going to go. You just worry about getting there on your side of things.
For your initial consultation, call the law firm of Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George at 724-658-8535 or online at lgkg.com. Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, keeping promises for over 80 years.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
At Pittsburgh-based Goldberg, Persky & White, we've helped thousands of former Babcock & Wilcox and J&L Steel employees receive compensation for their asbestos-caused lung cancer or mesothelioma. Since the time from asbestos exposure to disease diagnosis spans decades, many do not realize their illness was caused by asbestos. To find out if you are entitled to compensation, call GPW today at 1-800-COMPLEX or visit online at gpwlaw.com. You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg, Persky & White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug-Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
We are back. Aliquippa over Blackhawk, 41-0 here. We are just moments away from the second half kickoff. And you got to wonder, at this point I'm thinking Aliquippa, you give an opportunity to your second and third teamers, give the young guys reps, kind of build them up for later on in the season potentially. And really, by doing this, you're setting yourself up for next year, aren't you?
Well, no question about it. We've talked about this several times before. Aliquippa's players they're essentially they're fifth-year seniors. I mean, the seniors on this team, you count the 2 trips to Bishop McDevitt, that's 15 games in a season. That's their sophomore and junior years were 15 games each, and their freshman year was about 13. I mean, that's 45 games. Right. That's basically over 4. They're entering their senior year having played a season worth of playoff games. So that's the situation there. Look, this is great. We're on camera. But the bottom line is they have basically they have that's why they're fifth-year seniors. They basically have played an extra season of football in the playoffs, and that's the starters. So the idea is if you can get your second and third liners in to have similar play, then they can almost have an extra year of playoffs, and it just builds. And that's in any sport you do. Basketball, you can have a whole nother. It just builds and builds and builds. Or as the old saying goes, the rich get richer by having a rich tradition and playing in a lot of playoff games.
Yeah, 15 straight years for Aliquippa to make it to the WPIAL championship. They're looking at making it a 16th, and that continual cycle that you were just talking about. Blackhawk on the other side of things,
you want to run your starters as much as you can because you want to give them good quality playing time.
Particularly because, as you mentioned, quite a bit of them are replacing injured players. So
yes.
You have several reserves starting the game for Blackhawk. I know I had to completely flip-flop my depth chart, particularly in their offensive line, from what I had written down in the game with Beaver Falls in early September as opposed to right now in early October. So I know for a fact that there have been numerous adjustments made on the O-line of the Cougars.
So at this point, Blackhawk is looking to do you go into halftime and you tell your kids, listen, let's just treat this as though it's a 0-0 ball game? Do you go into halftime and say, listen, let's just try to do our best to win one down at a time? We got to get one play that we can build off of.
You definitely have to. You have to work on hanging on to the football. And you have to just make good decisions, and you have to say that you have to be, if you're a Blackhawk coach, you have to be honest, and you have to say this is the best team we're facing all year. So there's no wiggle room.
And when you talk about what Blackhawk is facing at this point, they have Aliquippa tonight after losing to Central Valley last night. Next week is no easier. They go on to West Allegheny. And then they play Montour afterwards, that is beating Central Valley tonight so far, 14-7. Their schedule doesn't get a little easier until they play Newcastle at Newcastle, final game of the season.
Right. When you sign up to join the Parkway Conference, you're in for quite a bit of outstanding play. You're at a high level.
And we have Aiden Wisner kicking off the ball for the very first time tonight. Squib kick, one of the up men. Looks like Tracy has it. Gets it over the 35, the 40, 45, out to the 50, and about the 49-yard line.
Yeah, pretty much into Blackhawk territory.
Yeah, I thought it was number 6. It's actually number 0. Clester Longmire, running back, middle linebacker, playing one of the up positions on kickoff.
But Blackhawk, again, trying the conservative method instead of kicking it deep. They've been scorched by some punt returns tonight. They did not want to have that happen on a kickoff return.
Aliquippa, 1st and 10 from the plus side of the 50. They're at Blackhawk 48.
Yeah, Council's still in the game, so he's going to get some quality reps with Tracy as his running back.
He's under center, takes a snap, hand off to Tracy. Tracy with a spin move, busts a couple of tackles, gets it out over the 45-yard line. He was stuffed in the backfield. That was all him for the 3-4 yards he picked up.
Well, yeah, the shoulder drop and the 360 spin, we don't quite have a replay on it, but he was hit and then just spun around off of his shoulder and shot forward to pick up yardage in a situation, as you described, which almost certainly could have been a loss.
Aliquippa now 2nd and 6 from the Blackhawk 44. They're on the near hash mark. Hand off to Tracy. And what a fantastic defensive play by Blackhawks. Thomas Price Jr. leads the team in tackles for loss, and he got a big tackle for loss right there.
No question about it. He shot the gap. He was able to come in on the left side of Aliquippa's line. Let's take a look at it on replay. Right on the T in the pit. He comes right through, right on the H in the words the pit, comes in and makes the unassisted tackle for loss.
Nobody even tried to tackle him on that one. You got to watch where he is. He's one of the greats for Blackhawk. Shotgun formation, takes a snap down the left-hand side and broken up there at around the 30-yard line. This is setting up now a 4th and 11 for Aliquippa.
Price almost with a sack. Let's take Price comes in on the right-hand side of your screen if we get a replay, and he comes very close to Council, but he was hit as well. Price was. This should be Aliquippa's first punt of the evening.
Aliquippa setting the punt.
Are they? Let's take a look at it. They're looking towards the sideline. They don't have 11 guys on the field. That's one thing. They got to correct that pretty soon.
One deep man for
10
Blackhawk.
Right now. Yeah, now they've got 11.
And the deep man is Dante Campagna. And there's a lot of conversation. The players for Aliquippa looking over at the bench, not quite sure exactly. And now we have a play clock that has dropped down to 0. Flag on the play, delay of game, they're backing them up 5 yards. These are the kind of things I'm thinking that Warfield, it could frustrate him, that you really need to focus on. Especially
again, when
the young players.
When you get into playoffs, sometimes you do trade punts, and you do want to have your punt team ready. Let's see how they handle it here.
Snap back, low kick, low snap, decides to fake it, keep the ball running up the middle, making a number of men miss, gets it out over the 50, close to the 45-yard line, but nowhere near a first down, about 7 yards short, and there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, on the offensive side of the field, it was Rodriguez coming up and making the stop for the Blackhawk Cougars.
Yeah, it looks as though there's illegal motion on the play, and they are going to decline the penalty and then take that first down now for Blackhawk, 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for Blackhawk. They're on their own 46, near hash mark. Blackhawk is going from left to right as you're picturing this on radio, but if you're able to, you can watch the game on Facebook. Look for us, WBVP, WMBA, Beaver County Radio, and you can watch the game for yourself. Blackhawk now approaching the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers are out at this point for Blackhawk. Pritchard at quarterback, handoff, stuffed right up the middle. Aliquippa defense penetrating through the offensive line of Blackhawk. A loss of 3 yards on the play. Blackhawk not able to get anywhere at all on that. And,
Braden McCarthy, the ball carrier there, a 5'10" running back. But we've talked about this before in the first half. As long as Blackhawk has no passing yards, which they don't, they had no passing yards at the half, Aliquippa is going to continue to have people near the line of scrimmage.
Alex Pritchard in at quarterback. He stays, but we have not seen Maurice Watson-Trent, number 23, in the backfield at this point. Quick pass, actually a wide receiver pitch going across the quarterback to Dante Campagna, getting a loss of yardage. He's all the way back to the 39. So they've run 2 plays. They've lost a combined 6 yards on these 2 plays.
Yes, and again, it's because Aliquippa has quite a bit of speed on defense. They're able to string these plays out. And if you're Blackhawk, you just don't have. You have to have quick hitters. The jet sweep was just surrounded from the beginning. And again, we still see that Aliquippa has a lot of guys up front defensively. And again, Heckathorn, that's a tough pill for Blackhawk to swallow. Heckathorn at 6'4" is a very valuable receiver for Blackhawk. He hasn't played tonight because of injury.
Alex Pritchard, shotgun, 1 man deep behind him. Back to pass, scrambling to his right, looking for anybody. Throws it out of bounds. Incomplete pass. Officials are looking to make a decision about whether or not he was outside the tackle. They are saying that he is. That brings up a 4th down, 4th and 16 from their own 40.
Yes. So, and again, it was trying to be a run-pass option, but Blackhawk alters things so it looks completely different than it might have the way it was drawn up on the chalkboard.
Number 67, once again, is in the punt, E.J. Barron. He is injured, unable to play on the line for Blackhawk, but they do have him back in punt formation. His first punt went, 8 yards? 6 yards on his first punt.
But he was attempting to kick it out of bounds, which he was doing right here. Now, that's a much better job of it.
Yes, he did. He got it out beyond the 34, maybe, 34, 35-yard line. Wasn't able to be returned, and if you're just joining us, the return team, the punt return game for Aliquippa has been absolutely stellar tonight, picking up a touchdown. Another touchdown was ultimately called back, but trying to punt to the receivers like Brandon Banks and Harrison Walker is just not going to get you anywhere if you are Blackhawk. 5:07 to go in the first half, in the third quarter rather, with a running clock. Because the score is 41-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk.
Marcus Council continues to take the snaps for Aliquippa. And again, it does 2 things. It gives Council experience, and it keeps Quentin Good healthy.
3 wide receivers are out, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Handoff up the middle to Tracy, spins around, able to dodge and weave a little bit, and gets from the 35 out to the 38-yard line. Another example of where Tracy is able to pick up yardage, and it's all Tracy. That he was stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but because of that spin move and the ability to break tackles, he's able to make something out of absolutely nothing, setting up a 2nd and 7, 4:14 to go on a running clock here in the third quarter.
He does a very good job. How about he is darting to the line of scrimmage?
He is.
Yeah, he truly is. So, and again, good second effort, an exciting first down carry.
Marquise Council back in quarterback of the shotgun. Handoff once again to Tracy. Tracy over the left-hand side, slipping a little bit, hand down, picks himself back up, gets out to about the 43-yard line, setting up a very manageable 3rd and 2 on the play. He has to get to the 45. He's on the 43 near hash mark.
Yeah, John Yard spots the football right at the 44, so that's we can see that. These are the easy kind for us as broadcasters to spot because they involve a yard line, in this case the 45.
That makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, you're either over that yard line or you're not.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. Everybody's in tight except for 1 wide receiver out to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun, hand off to Tracy up the middle, makes a man miss, makes 2 men miss. At 3rd, finally gets him, but gets over the 45-yard line and gets that first down. Tracy continues to impress with the way that he runs
He shows
this.
quick feet, and we just saw that on our screen. He has quick feet. In the other one from the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk, I'm very impressed that Cornell is tied with highly regarded Bishop Canavan at 7. That game is at Frank Lettieri Stadium in Coriopolis, but Bishop Canavan, I believe, is no worse than number 2 in Single A after their shootout with Fort Cherry last week.
Inside handoff once again to Tracy over the left-hand side, making men miss, gets to the sideline to the 40-yard line. Another first down, pickup of 13 yards on the play. Tracy continuing to show why he deserves to be in that backfield getting those reps.
If this was the CFL, he might have had a touchdown where the field's a little bit wider up there in Canada. It was only the sideline that hemmed him in. He might have been able to pick up quite a bit more yards, but for now it's an eye-opening performance as to his abilities, but anybody who's seen Aliquippa football in the past is well aware of what he can do.
Aliquippa setting their receivers, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Tight end, close.
Yeah, Jace,
1 running back to the right side.
He
quick slant pattern and not able to complete that pass on a first down play.
Initially, I thought they were going to drag Jace Williams across that formation late, but he stayed in to block. So, he's motioning right. He's pointing towards himself like as if to suggest to Aliquippa coaches, I think that drag might work to me.
Yeah, can I have the ball, coach? Give me the ball one time.
He came up with the ball himself on fumble recovery. He was the second one, I think. Was that generally accepted for him to be?
I believe that was, yes.
Yeah. So in any event, he's a very valuable receiver for Aliquippa as well.
2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. Aliquippa, running clock, 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. Snap back. Fake the handoff to Tracy. Council keeps it over the right-hand side, gets over the 40-yard line, down close to the 35. Looks as though they're going to spot it at the 36. Nice pickup of 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, and the most important thing is he held on to the football. He got stood up a little bit, but he was able to fall forward. He held on to the football. And I think your one of your favorite words is it's manageable now on 3rd down.
It is manageable.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you know what? When it comes to Aliquippa, you can be like 3rd and 15.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And that's pretty manageable for Aliquippa.
To throw out another cliche, it's also 4th down territory.
Yes, it is.
But we'll see how it plays out with Council in the shotgun.
3rd and 6 seconds left to go. They have to get this play off. 5 seconds on the play clock. 3, 2. Snap, got it off in time. Hand off to Tracy of the left-hand side. Looking for the edge. Gets beyond the 35-yard line. Gets it close to first down territory. It's all about where the officials decide to mark this. They're really close to the 31.
Right. He didn't get that on second effort. You know what? He got it on third effort.
He did.
So he It's true.
You're right.
If we get a replay on that, we'll see as the period ends. Here's our replay. Let's take a look at it. There, he's hit. He's met once, runs through that, met twice, and then right there on his third effort is driven out of bounds. So it's, in fact, 3 efforts to end, oddly enough, period number 3.
We are now getting ready to go to the fourth quarter. They're taking a break. We'll take a break, too, live from Heinz Field. 41-0. Quips over the Cougars on Beaver County Radio.
Now that the sights and sounds of summer are fading in your rearview mirror, there's still time to enjoy your classic car and turn heads this fall. Restore your cherished ride to its former glory and call Gnu's Body Works in Freedom. Gary Snare has been offering collision and restoration services for over 20 years. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to full custom color paint, Gnu's also handles collision and general repairs. Say hello to cooler weather with the hottest car around. Call Gnu's Body Works, 408th Street in Freedom.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its 4th year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
Aliquippa with the ball. Incomplete pass over the middle. Council looking for a man down around the 5-yard line. Not able to complete that. Setting up a 2nd and 10 now at the Blackhawk 31-yard line. 41-0 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. It's been all Aliquippa from the get-go, going up 14-0 before the offense was able to even run one play. And they've only had to punt, I believe it's been one time so far this evening. 11:05 to go in the fourth quarter, running clock. Aliquippa, Maurice Council looking over the defense, under center, 2 men in the backfield, handoff, and Blackhawk is able to get some great penetration through the line on that play and able to stop Aliquippa for a loss back to the 35-yard line, a loss of 4 on the play. Number 75, Maddox Javens, in on the stop, 6'1", 270-pound sophomore, 5 tackles on the season. We'll call that number 6. 2 of them were solo, 3 assists, and that tackle for loss, setting up a 3rd and 14 for Aliquippa on the Blackhawk 35-yard line. Running clock once again, 10 minutes, 18 seconds left to go. Blackhawk running a 2-deep defense, anticipating some aspect of a pass here on a 3rd and 14, you would. But at the same time, you would think also that Aliquippa just go ahead and run the ball and leave it at that. But nope, Maurice Council rolling out to his right-hand side, looking for a man around the 30, would have been well short. Incomplete pass. That sets up a 4th and 14. The last time they had a 4th down, they were going the other direction toward the end of the third quarter. They decided to go ahead and fake that punt and then run it, not able to come up anywhere close to first down yardage, and turned it over to Blackhawk ultimately on downs. The question now is, will Coach Warfield decide to go ahead and punt this ball and see what his punt coverage team is able to do? It looks as though that is not the choice he's going to take. Council is still in at quarterback, running back over to his left-hand side. Wide receivers, 3 right, 1 left, looking for a man down the left-hand side. Overthrows his target. He was open just beyond the outstretched hands of his receiver, and now that turns it over on downs. 1st and 10 for Blackhawk on their own 35-yard line. We'll take a quick little pause here, come back in 30 seconds from Heinz Field on Beaver County Radio.
Being part of a credit union is like being part of a team where everyone plays and, more importantly, everyone wins. This is Cindy Haladio for Friendly Federal Credit Union. If you need a loan, it's game time. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union in Baden or Aliquippa. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or click friendlyfcu.org. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union. You got a friend.
8:17 to go with the running clock in the fourth quarter. Aliquippa all over Blackhawk, 41-0. Blackhawk now set up in the pistol formation. Alex Pritchard looking for a man down the right-hand side, airs it out, unable to make the connection. Good coverage on the play by Aliquippa. The score, 41-0, really doesn't tell the tale properly because ultimately Aliquippa was out to a 35-0 lead before the end of the first quarter. They have since only scored one touchdown, one failed extra point attempt is how we get to 41. And they've been absolutely dominant, holding Blackhawk to a couple of nice run plays by Maurice Watson-Trent and Alex Pritchard. And aside from that, nothing else really happening for the Blackhawk Cougars. Pritchard keeping the ball himself, running over the right-hand side, able to make a couple of men miss and carried a couple of tacklers, getting it from the 35 to the 40-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 4, maybe 5 yards to go on the play with a running clock set at 7:09 and continues to roll. Aside from the run by Maurice Watson-Trent and the run by Alex Pritchard that were both of them big first down runs, there hasn't been a complete pass by Blackhawk so far this evening. Their offensive line is really what's they've been having a difficult time with. It's really a patchwork collection of young men that are doing the very best they can, many of them playing out of position. Alex Pritchard decided to take the snap, keep the ball up the middle, and gets a yard or two, setting up a 4th and 3 from their own 42-yard line. They've got to get to the 45. You have to believe they're going to go ahead and go for it here. And it looks as though they're going to do that. Pritchard is in the game at quarterback. They've been using Stephen Canale up to this point a little bit more than they have tonight. He's only been in for a couple of plays. Stephen Canale starting quarterback when we carried the game against Beaver Falls in week 0. Coach Feely says he's really the quarterback of the defense. Quick pass over to the right side to number 4. Was able to complete that pass to Cody Woodward. Cody Woodward able to make that reception and a first down. Their first completion in a pass on the night, and it gets them a first down at their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10 from their 47. 5:35 to go on a running clock. Alex Pritchard overlooking the defense. 3 wide receivers out to the left. Throws it out to the flat to the running back. Running back gets hit at the 47-yard line of Aliquippa and then bounce back a good 3 or 4 yards. The receiver on the play was A.J. Montgomery. A.J. Montgomery is a 3-sport athlete: football, wrestling, and track. And great reception, great run on that play. It sets up a 2nd and 5 for Blackhawk. Aliquippa territory at the 47-yard line, right about midfield. Pritchard throwing it again, this one to Dante Campagna out to the 42-yard line, able to get closer to the 40. Another first down, 2 passes, 2 first downs for Blackhawk. They're getting something going at this point. One of the things you don't want to do if you're Blackhawk, you don't want to finish this game and get shut out. You want to score. You want to put up some kind of points. They've not been running Maurice Watson-Trent the entire second half. Not sure why. They may just be resting him for the next game. It may be something else. Pritchard back to pass, looking deep down the right-hand side. Has a man, but is able to get broken up by Aliquippa down around the 10-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 10 from the Aliquippa 39. Blackhawk, their season does not get any easier anytime soon. Last week they played Central Valley. They lost 42-14. They're trailing here 41-0. Next week they go to West Allegheny, and as Bruce Fry was saying, you're looking at the top 3 teams in this parkway. It's Aliquippa, Central Valley, and West Allegheny. And then Montour, who's given Central Valley everything they can handle, leading 14-7 at this point from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. They have them coming up as well. Handoff from Alex Pritchard to A.J. Montgomery over the right-hand side out to the 32-yard line of Aliquippa, running out of bounds. However, because of the running clock and the 35-point rule, there is no stoppage of play. So it sets up now a 3rd and 3 for Blackhawk at 32. So they have West Allegheny coming up next week, and then Montour. And to wrap up the season, they take on Newcastle. They're playing at Taggart Stadium in Newcastle. 3rd and 3, 32-yard line. Blackhawk, everybody's in tight. Pritchard keeps it up the middle. Just the way it just parts. The sea parts for him as he goes down the middle, takes it all the way down to the 20-yard line, setting up a 1st and 10 in the Heinz red zone here at Heinz Field. Blackhawk not wanting to end this game scoreless. Aliquippa not wanting to give up a score, of course. Aliquippa, here's the way the rest of their season is going to be shaping up. Aliquippa looking at, after this game, big run over the right-hand side by number 30 for Blackhawk. Big run by Braden McCarthy, getting it down to around the 12-yard line. Aliquippa, after this game against Blackhawk, next week they travel up to Newcastle, then at Chartiers Valley, and then the big game at the end of the year that people are paying attention to. Everybody circle the calendar. They take on Central Valley at Central Valley. Blackhawk, handoff over the right-hand side. Some darting and weaving and a big touchdown. Blackhawk touchdown, finally getting on the board to make it 41-6. 41-6. Blackhawk finally scoring a touchdown on that drive. 1:49 to go. Clock stops for the extra point. They're setting themselves up for that now. 41-6. Aliquippa over Blackhawk. So you have Aliquippa looking at that Central Valley game coming up at the end of the season. Newcastle next week. Chartiers Valley, they're at home for them coming up on the 20th. Alex Pritchard, not only is he the quarterback, he's the punter, and he's also the holder. Ball down, up, and is it good? No. Referees are saying that extra point was no good. It's 41-6, Aliquippa over Blackhawk. We'll come back with more in a moment from Heinz Field and Aliquippa on Beaver County.
A Beaver County high school football season is here. Players protect that beautiful smile with a visit to your hometown dentist, Dr. Peter Montini and his team at St. Barnabas Dental. While tackling tooth decay is number one in the game plan, Dr. Montini offers a wide array of services, including custom-fitted athletic mouth guards, clear aligner orthodontics, virtually painless injections, and same-day crowns. Call or text 724-495-3350 to schedule your appointment today. St. Barnabas Dental in Beaver, creating beautiful smiles for life.
From the AK Naos Appliance and Furniture broadcast booth, we are covering Aliquippa Blackhawk 41-6. The Quips over the Cougars. Coming up in just a little bit, we will be announcing the CCBC players of the game. One player from Aliquippa and one from Blackhawk. And Aliquippa, there are a lot of people who have put up some points, a lot of impressive numbers, impressive performances, and we'll select one from Aliquippa and also one from Blackhawk. Kickoff, squib kick, received around the 21-yard line, looking to find some room over the right side, finally tackled down around the 33-yard line by Blackhawk, so 1st and 10 now for Aliquippa at their own 33. Coming up after the game, we will have the Electric Garage Door post-game show in just a moment. Coming up after the post-game show, we'll have the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. Our own Bruce Fye will be hosting that coming up momentarily after the Electric Garage Doors post-game show. Looking at scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Quaker Valley, 7. South Park, 28. Neshannock, 20. Freedom, 0. Union over Rochester, 39-14. Fort Cherry, 42. Avella, nothing. Cornell, 7. Bishop Canavan, 14. Beaver, Avonworth. Beaver trailing 14-27. Beaver Falls is up on Mohawk, 12-7. And Southside over Shenango, 48-6. Aliquippa set up at 1st and 10 from the 33, run over the right-hand side, not able to get anything. In fact, a loss of 1 on the play, setting up a 2nd and 11 for Aliquippa. 22 seconds left to go in the game. Play clock is at 25. It looks as though they don't need to snap the ball. They have no intention of doing so. And that will be your final 41-6 Aliquippa over Blackhawk. We'll go over some statistics here that we have for you, the scoring from the game, and get you ready for the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show coming up next right here on Beaver County Radio.
If you have big plans for this fall, like a new car or home remodeling project, but feel like it's getting a little late in the game and you're out of timeouts, it's time to call an audible, a 749 audible. This is Coach Andy Dengel from Freedom United Federal Credit Union. 24-month personal loans are now available with approved credit from 7.49%. So get up to the line, the teller line that is, and call your own 749 audible. Stop in for details. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win or at least a winning smile by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
The pregame show will set the stage for the upcoming game coverage. A pre-career start at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center can set up your high school student for life. I'm Vince Crateri, Public Relations and Marketing Specialist at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center with great news. There is still time for this school year in some of our top earning career training programs, but you must act now. Have your child or grandchild see their school counselor today. Hurry, classroom space is limited, and these prime opportunities are on a first-come, first-served basis. Let the Beaver County CTC open doors for you in the game of life. Click bcctc.org.
Are you a believer?
I am absolutely a believer.
And I'm a Bubba Beaver believer.
But I'm the biggest Bubba Beaver believer.
All right, man, you got me.
Be a Beaver believer in a new Nissan. Get a new Rogue S for just $344 a month, or a new Ultima Premium package for only $386 a month. Plus guaranteed credit approval and the best certified pre-owned warranty.
Stop in and become a Bubba Beaver believer like me.
And me.
At Beaver County Auto.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Community Support Program. Now in its fourth year of serving Aliquippa, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. The Drug-Free Community Support Program in Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug Free Aliquippa on Facebook. You're listening to 2023 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio. This game is being brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Aliquippa all over Blackhawk, and the 41-6 does not tell the whole tale. Aliquippa only scored one time in the second, third, and fourth quarter. They scored 35 points in the first quarter. And it was a dominating performance. It could have easily been so much worse than it was, but Aliquippa then took their foot off the pedal, and then Blackhawk just still struggling until the very last drive opportunity to score their 6. They got the ball to start things off. Aliquippa won the toss and deferred, and after 3 plays going nowhere, they decided to punt, and then they punted it to Harrison Walker. Beautiful punt by A.J. Pritchard, but Harrison Walker took it 78 yards for the touchdown. Blackhawk gets the ball back. Very first play from scrimmage, fumbles the ball, picked up and returned for a touchdown by Jace Williams. 14-0, and Aliquippa didn't even run an offensive play. Blackhawk gets the ball back. Another punt. This one, there was a punt returned for a touchdown, but there was a penalty on the play. It was called back. That didn't keep Aliquippa from scoring a touchdown, though, because ultimately Quentin Good was able to hit up with Brandon Banks on a slant pass, 40-yard touchdown play to make it 20-0. Extra point was good by Malachi Chicago and 21. Then after that, there was a fumble recovery for a touchdown, 38 yards. Scoop and score. That made it 27-0. Extra point was good, 28-0. And then another touchdown on a post pattern from Good to Brandon Banks to make it 35-0. And then finally the scoring, that 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And then that making it 35-0, and it wasn't until ultimately a catch and run by John Tracy, where it was just a quick little outlet pass that John Tracy this evening in the second half just did it all himself remarkably well and was able to take that ball and score a touchdown. Extra point conversion was no good, making it 41-0. Blackhawk finally able to complete a couple of passes and get down with a couple of big run plays as well, as Aliquippa was playing their second and third teamers, but Blackhawk still thankful to go ahead and get that score. They scored, but the extra point conversion was no good. Final score, 41-6, Aliquippa over Blackhawk. What each team will be looking at coming up next week and the rest of the season, and then our game for next Friday. Those details coming up next right here on Beaver County Radio.
It's football season, and if you can see the Aquaman of Beaver County heading deep on a fly route to the end zone, it shouldn't surprise you. This is Jim Riggio, the Aquaman of Beaver County from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. Why, you ask? It's obvious. Going deep or the full distance for our customers, no matter what we are up against, is in our game plan. Now, what isn't quite so simple is getting my web feet into a pair of those cleats. This is the Aquaman from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. And looky here, I'm wide open that is, to doing whatever it takes to serve you. Click bfwater.net.
Hi, this is Bob Barrickman here for Fry Transportation. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it sure is hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season. From your friends at Fry Transportation.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Are you a believer?
I am absolutely a believer.
And I'm a Bubba Beaver believer.
But I'm the biggest Bubba Beaver believer.
All right, man, you got me.
Be a Beaver believer in a new Nissan. Get a new Rogue S for just $344 a month, or a new Ultima Premium package for only $386 a month. Plus guaranteed credit approval and the best certified pre-owned warranty.
Stop in and become a Bubba Beaver believer like me.
And me.
At Beaver County Auto.
Spotlight your future this fall at Community College of Beaver County. By attending our admissions showcases, you'll explore campus, talk one-on-one with professors, discover career and transfer-ready programs, and even enroll on the spot. Join us October 7th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Aviation Sciences Center in Chippewa to learn more about piloting, air traffic control, aerospace management, and the Aviation High School Academy. RSVP now at ccbc.edu/showcases.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
From the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture Broadcast booth, it is the Electric Garage Doors postgame show. I'm Mangino, and we are here at Aliquippa at Heinz Field. Aliquippa defeating Blackhawk 41-6. Let's take a look at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Keystone Oaks 13, Hopewell nothing. Chartiers Houston 20, Carlinton at 16. As we get this thing recycled, we'll go ahead and get back to more scores. Coming up for Blackhawk, they will go to West Allegheny coming up next week. Then it's Montour. Let me check this. They are hosting West Allegheny, hosting Montour, and then at Newcastle to wrap things up on October 27th. For Aliquippa, they will be at Newcastle. They host Chartiers Valley, and then the big game at Central Valley on the 27th. That is the way things are looking for Aliquippa and for Blackhawk moving forward. From the Fry Transportation Instant Update Desk, Central Valley 7, Montour 14. Not finals, but these are the latest scores. West Allegheny 33, Ambridge nothing. Chartiers Valley 28, Newcastle 14. Quaker Valley 7, South Park 28. Neshannock over Freedom 20-0. Union topping Rochester 39-14. Fort Cherry all over Avella 42-0. Cornell 7. Bishop Canavan 14. Avonworth over Beaver 27-14. Beaver Falls 12. Mohawk 7. Southside 48. Shenango 6. Laurel over Northgate 14-12. Keystone Oaks 13. Hopewell 0. Chartiers Houston 20. Carlinton 16. Speaking of Beaver Falls, we will be at the Beaver Falls game next week as they host Elwood City. The CCBC players of the game, it's pretty interesting and easy selections. We'll start off with the Blackhawk Cougars. They were led by their running back tonight, Maurice Watson-Trent, absolutely the workhorse. Not able to score the touchdown, didn't even play much of it at all in the second half, but what he did on the first half when he was playing against all the ones against Aliquippa, impressive performance by Maurice Watson-Trent tonight. This week's CCBC player of the game for Aliquippa. Last week it was Quentin Good. Great performance by Quentin Good, throwing the ball all over the place and a lot of touchdowns to a lot of different people. So it was about giving it to the guy who orchestrated it all. But tonight it's Brandon Banks. He is the CCBC player of the game. He is the one who took the first punt of the game for a touchdown from Blackhawk, 78 yards. He then returned a second one, was called back on a holding penalty, caught the big slant pattern from Quentin Good, scored a touchdown on that one as well from 40 yards out. So Brandon Banks, the CCBC player of the game. So once again, from the AK Nahas Appliance and Furniture Broadcast booth, you've been listening to the Electric Garage Doors post-game show. Coming up next, it is the Falcones Moon Township Ford wrap-up show. Our own Bruce Fry will be hosting that coming up in just moments. We'll talk to you again next Friday from Beaver Falls as Beaver Falls hosts Elwood City. Pre-game is at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And don't forget tomorrow, Geneva and Grove City, tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, right here on Beaver County Radio.
Thank you for listening to coverage of 2023 high school football here on Beaver County Radio. Coverage of tonight's broadcast was brought to you in part by St. Barnabas Dental and Dr. Peter Montini, Goldberg Persky and White, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lipp, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George, Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, Beaver County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Nissan, Keystone Wellness Program, Patriot Home Care, the Grand Valley Inn, the Community College of Beaver County, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center, Drug Free Aliquippa, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Moon Township Ford, A.K. Nahas Furniture Gallery, Tri-County McDonald's, Fry Transportation, and Beaver County Radio. And don't forget to check out all the scores and information from this week's game and all games at beavercountyradio.com and on our Facebook page at WBVP-WMBA.